Good morning.
I was like taking this out there.
That's not what I want to do. Is it crooked? Yeah.
Not really, barely. Yeah, this is very normal.
Is that okay?
Judge, it looks like someone drew on your face. Probably.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I got someone checking in from Finland.
Finland?
Yeah. A few from China, Australia, Tokyo. Just crazy.
Well, Tokyo kind of makes sense. We got a base over there, but China.
Ireland.
It just makes her day.
You're showing everywhere else. Yes. There we go.
Got it?
Now it should be working. I mean, not very pretty or anything. You know? You want to come say hello?
Point. Wondering.
It's on your phone.
I think New Zealand.
Who? Easy, Captain, easy. All right, nerds, you ready?
Huh?
Ready? We have an arraignment?
Yes. Judge, first, open, this council is supposed to zoom on.
Who?
For page one, top of page one, council said he was zooming on. I just wanted to see if he's there yet.
No, I don't have anyone.
Okay, well, he gave me a date already, so we can proceed.
Okay, what's it?
All right, page one, Amadi, Omar. Come on up.
Are you Mr. Amadi?
Yes, sir.
Good morning, sir. Sir, you're charged with terroristic threat. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present if you cannot afford one.
I have my attorney like Mr. Ward.
I know, he's not here. We have a jury waiting, so we're gonna get started because I can't sit here and wait. I don't want to keep the jury waiting.
On July 9th, 2024, in Harris County, Texas, the complaining witness, who was 17 years old, stated that he was playing soccer when the defendant came up and stated, "I will stab you and kill you. I've done it before," and then spit on the complaining witness. 2 witnesses corroborated the statements of the complaining witness.
Okay, so were they at the soccer field or where was
It looks like they were in the neighborhood and then near a corner store where they also found the other witness that saw this happen.
it? Mr. Amadi, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with the case. I am ordering you as a condition of your bond not to have any contact with the complaining witness in this case. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
I'm also ordering you not to be in possession of any weapons.
Yes,
If
sir.
you violate these conditions, I will revoke your bond. I will put you in jail. No more PR bonds for you.
Okay.
You understand? Now, you have a lawyer. Because you have a lawyer, I will waive your appearance, but it is your responsibility to stay in touch with Mr. Wood. He will tell you when you have to come back to court.
Okay.
If Mr. Wood tells me that you're playing games, that you're not responding to phone calls, text messages, likewise, I will issue a warrant for your arrest. So do not pick up any new cases. Don't threaten anyone. I want my public safe. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I'm gonna have you go to Victoria, sign a reset. After that, we will have you take a seat in the first pew over there while we get your bond conditions. We'll have you sign it. And after that, you'll be free to go, sir.
Thank you so much.
Please.
Go ahead and sign. All right, Judge, page 3, Cabrera.
So guys, no weapons, please do not contact.
Yes, sir.
I got it. All right, I'm gonna have a seat in the jury box.
So I'm gonna bring the jury here in soon. I don't know if you want to at that point.
We have a couple of these ready to go.
Okay.
Spanish speaking. Spanish?
Yeah.
Luis, come on down.
What's his name?
Cabrera, page 3.
Did Mr. Bob show up early today?
Yes, I already appointed or sent a request.
Okay, good.
I'm waiting on a response.
Are you Yaciel Cabrera?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Cabrera, you're charged with assault of a family member. You're facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present during any questions and interviews with the state of Texas. If you cannot afford a lawyer will be appointed to represent you.
On July 9th, 2024, the complaining witness presented 2 visible injuries, one on her right forearm and the other on the upper front part of her right leg. The complaining witness was in the living room when the defendant came in and the 2 began arguing. The defendant told the complaining witness he was going to punch her on the face while raising his right hand in the air. The defendant swung his open right hand towards her face, to which she raised her right arm to block the slap, and the defendant struck her right forearm, causing pain. The defendant swung again with his right hand open and struck her on her right upper part of her leg, causing pain. After the defendant struck the complaining witness, she grabbed her belongings and left the apartment, where she met with the witness. The witness stated that this has been going on since midnight, and the defendant was breaking things around the apartment as well. The complaining witness is the girlfriend of the defendant.
Do we know of any alcohol, drugs, or anything like that plays part in any of this?
It does not say anything about alcohol or drugs in the DIMS, Your Honor.
Mr. Cabrera, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with your case. Tell me, are you a United States citizen? Are you a United States citizen?
No.
Are you in this country with or without permission?
I'm waiting on my papers.
Are you in this country with or without permission?
Dando mi seguro y mi permiso de
I've
trabajo.
been in the country 2 years. I'm waiting for the papers though.
then you're not here with permission. What happens if you go to jail? Piensa. What happens if you go to jail?
No entiendo.
I don't understand.
What happens if you go to jail, Mr. Cabrera?
¿Qué pasa?
What happens?
¿Qué pasa?
Por eso, ¿no? Que él me pregunta que qué pasa si voy a la cárcel.
Are you asking me what happens if I go to jail?
Correct. ¿Qué pasa que si tú te vas a la cárcel? ¿Qué va a pasar contigo? Think. What happens?
¿Qué le pasa?
Are you in this country with or without
Está en el
permission?
país con o sin permiso.
Ahora no tengo permiso.
I don't have permission right now.
So what happens if you go to jail?
¿Qué le pasa si usted va a la cárcel?
No entendí. Si voy a la cárcel, pues, ¿qué pasa? No.
I don't understand if I can.
Searches the jail.
Migración,
Listen,
escuche.
immigration, because you couldn't put
Porque usted
one and one
no
together.
pudo sumar un
So
dos
I'm
más
going
uno.
to put it together for you, Mr. Cabrera. Immigration searches the jails every day for people who are in this country without permission. If they find you, they will put an immigration detainer on you. You will be stuck in jail indefinitely until immigration does whatever they're going to do to you. Nothing fast happens in immigration. So you will sit there for about 6 months at a minimum, waiting for them to do whatever they're going to do. If you do not want that to happen, I want my streets to be safe.
Mis calles que estén seguras.
You are not to have any contact with this complaining witness again. You are not to be in possession of
Puede
weapons.
estar en posesión de
You
armas.
are not to break any laws. If I find that you violate any of these conditions, I'm going to put you in jail. And if you're unlucky enough, you're going to be there for a very long time. The only reason you are out now is because we gave you a free bond and you were able to get out of jail before immigration put their claws on you. It's not going to happen again. So you are now warned. Any false move, I will put you in jail. And if you're lucky enough, unlucky enough, you'll be there for 9 months. Do you understand? Good. No weapons, no contact, don't break the law, and don't drive. You understand? A protective order was issued in this case on the 10th. I suggest that you get to know it. If you do anything to violate the protective order, the state can and will file a violation of the protective order against you. That is an additional case, and it's one of the worst cases you can pick up. So you have a copy of it. Take note of what you can and can't do. We're going to reset your case to give you time to hire a lawyer. So first, I will have you go to Victoria, sign a reset. After that, I'm going to have you take a seat while I get your bond conditions. We will have you sign it, and then you'll be on your way. Remember, you're walking on extremely thin ice. If you do anything to endanger my public, that ice will crack and your butt's going to freeze. You understand?
Yes.
Get on.
Right this way.
Your Honor, you did say no driving.
No contact, no weapons, no driving without a Texas driver license.
Caba?
And then,
Judge, did you generate the no driving affidavit?
yes. No, I'll just put it as a,
Okay, you can go to this. Next, judge, is another Spanish speaker, page 4, Karantza.
Karantza? Oh, this is. Good morning, Mr. Karantza.
Morning.
Sir, you were on bond for criminal mischief. You've now picked up a new case. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, sir.
Your Honor, this is for the criminal mischief or the new?
No, let's do the harassment because PCs are a felony.
Okay, it has not been screened, so, let me take this. On,
What shirt is this that he's wearing? It looks like something expensive. You know what that is?
It's fat form.
Fat farm?
Judge George Reyes is on the original case.
Got it. Okay. Please.
on May 21st, 2024, the complainant stated the defendant called her through a cell phone and threatened her while she was in her apartment located in Harris County, Texas, on May 2nd, 2024, and on May 21st, 2024. The officer spoke with the complainant, who stated that she received a phone call from the defendant while at the apartment, and the defendant stated, "You know what? It's not going to be done until you're in the grave," which caused the complainant to be alarmed and perceived it as a threat. The complainant said the defendant's cousin was there with her at the time of the call and heard the conversation. The complainant said the defendant also called her on May 2nd and made a similar statement. The complainant provided a voice recording of the conversation with the defendant and complainant from the May 2nd call, and the officer was able to verify and hear the statement made by the defendant. The complainant stated she received multiple calls from the defendant, and he would always make the statement of having her in the grave. And the complainant said the defendant would call her from multiple numbers and no caller ID. The complainant said she felt harassed and alarmed by the defendant's calls and the statements, and she wishes to pursue criminal charges. The officer also spoke with the witness, the defendant's cousin, who said he witnessed the conversation between the complainant and defendant, and he heard the defendant tell the complainant he was going to frustrate her until she was below the ground. The witness said he heard the defendant call the complainant The witness said he heard the defendant tell the complainant he was going to frustrate her until she was below the ground, and heard the defendant call the complainant multiple times and constantly threatening her and making similar statements.
Mr. Karantza, I told you one thing. I told you not to threaten, not to harass my complaining witness in this case. In the criminal mischief case, you've now picked up a harassment case with the same complaining witness. So I will now revoke your bond in the first case, and I will take you into custody. It goes with you. So 5,001 on the mischief. And then on the harassment, I'll wait for Mr. Reyes to come so we can address it.
Okay.
Because it's at no bond right now.
TSR on that one, Judge?
Yeah, we need to. please.
I don't.
Insurance.
Okay, you've seen it?
Yes, I showed it to.
You're an officer of the court, I trust you, so we'll take it off.
Okay,
You can
thanks,
drive
sir.
and just whatever you
Should I tell the
think you
clerk?
want, and that's what I do.
All right, Judge, you ready for the next one? Aaron has.
Let me make sure, I don't want to forget, it's Bernal, right?
Yes, Bernal.
Thanks.
Her kinfolk.
What it is, her brother.
Hey. Jeff, I just responded and said. it's a
And the other one, I wrote
I'm
this
gonna-
back.
I'm gonna retract that.
Got it, okay.
I'll just let you know if that's a motion subject to. And I'll take it off the server.
Aaron, look, the other, come on. Yeah, yeah. for sure.
Thank you, Mr.
That was sarcastic.
Luis, not yet. We need you. I can't say yet.
All gets slipped in this chart.
Council, can I get a name?
Altamirano, ALTA.
Thank you.
First name, Jaime.
Council for reset.
Vasquez? Yes.
All right. This is, you are Mr. Altamirano.
Señor Altamirano.
Yes, Mr. Altamirano, you're charged with driving while intoxicated. First offense, it's elevated to a class A misdemeanor. You're facing up to a year in jail and a $4,000 fine. You guys have worked out an agreement. They're offering you 3 days in jail. Credit for the 1 day that you've done. Understand this charge will go on your record. It will be there for the rest of your life. The first thing an officer is going to, when they pull you over, the first thing they do is they look up your criminal history. If they see that you have a prior DWI and they come up to your window and they smell alcohol on your breath, what do you think they're gonna do?
Go to jail?
Correct.
Correct.
What were you doing today will not happen again. From now, it's pleading to a class A.
Yes, sir.
From now on, you'll be facing a minimum of 90 days in jail. And if you're not smart enough to consider how to get home on a night of drinking like a little child, then we will treat you like a little child and put you over our knee and spank you with a ton of jail time, just like a little child.
You won't kill me.
Don't
I understand.
get in a car, even if you've had one beer, Mr. Altamirano, because you'll be doing a ton of jail time. You give up the right to a trial, right to tell witnesses, testify on your behalf, confront and cross-examine your accusers. If you are not a citizen, there are possible immigration consequences. You can be deported, excluded from the country to non-naturalization. You give up the right to appeal so once you accept this agreement. You can never change this or undo this. Is this what you want to do?
Yes, I plead guilty.
I will find you guilty, send you to the agreement. Good luck to you, sir. I am going to suspend your license for 90 days. Do not drive until you get a Texas driver license, otherwise you're going to be right back over there. Good luck.
Thank you, Judge.
Yeah.
All right.
Any more Spanish or no? Is that it?
We do have a Spanish plea that's almost ready.
Okay.
All right, Judge, the next one, it is page 18 and 19, Mendoza. Mendoza, come on up.
Can you tell me if Mr. Mendoza has a lobby's license? You know what? Well, it doesn't matter. You now have a reckless driving, you have a gun case. You've also now picked up an evading arrest, and if I remember, he's going like 110 or 120 evading in the felony case, right? There is an affidavit not to drive. If I find that you drive again, I will triple, if not quadruple your bond yet again. So you will be up to $100,000. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Do not drive. Do not use alcohol or illegal drugs. I'm going to randomly test you like crazy, Mr. Mendoza. If I find that you're using anything likewise, you will go to jail. I will triple, if not quadruple your bond. Do you understand? How old are you?
17.
Did you graduate high school?
I wanted to finish it, but I wanted to finish it since.
Okay, I'm gonna have him take a seat. I don't want him to leave until we speak this. Yeah, but he's got, right, but then I need him bond conditions for Tracy. No drugs, no alcohol, random away, no driving, and then stay in school. All right, we're gonna have you sign a reset and take a seat. Do not leave, sir.
Right this way.
Do you remember Cabrera when you let him out? He was supposed to get a GPS prior to release.
Go ahead and sign.
I don't know where these conditions went. This is adding the GPS with the curfew. So he went to 49. I told him to come back over here. I've changed it to
Rogers.
curfew and
come on up.
GPS. So can you sign it so we can give him the GPS today? Somebody else should have waited this. He's not on the docket.
Why wasn't he?
I don't know what
why did he
happened.
Not get a GPS prior to release.
No.
I need to know who to talk to. Were the orders not done correctly? What happened?
Yeah, well, the order is not in deeds. That's the
So
problem.
did you not do the order then?
Yeah, I did it. Here it is right
It
here.
should be.
It's not signed by you because he took it with him there.
Cabrera was supposed to have a GPS prior
Prior
to
to
release, and he doesn't have one. Why would they release him without the GPS monitor?
Are the conditions in it?
No, when she called me from 49, it was just the second amendment on the third.
Okay, I don't
I
have
just
time for
redid
this.
it.
We gotta do this later. You can wait, because I have a jury waiting.
Oh, he already has it.
You can wait.
No, I'm saying you don't want him to go now?
No,
Okay.
just have him take a
He wants
seat.
you to wait.
What else?
That was the last.
That's it? Okay. Tyler, are you guys ready? Yes. Luna?
Well, not yet.
Okay, yeah. Are you guys ready?
Yes.
Okay, guys, we're about to start trial. If you need to talk on the phone, if you have to talk to anyone, go outside. We will be on the record. Do not talk.
Just, we had a Spanish jail. Are you ready on
Let's do that real quick. Deputy Corbin. What's the problem?
It was just good non-compliance. I talked to the council this morning, the role on the first.
Alaric Starks, come up. Do you want to go to jail? You're begging for it. This close to filing a motion. and You're looking at an entire year in jail, Mr. Starks. What on earth gives you the right to not take it seriously? You are on notice now, and I'm gonna keep you so close, it's gonna be ridiculous. One missed class. Motion to vote, we filed in the form. Do you understand? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
So. You are currently enrolled now with the
Yeah.
BIP class.
Yeah.
You have to go once a week for 18 weeks. If you fail to go one time, you know what's gonna happen. You understand? Anything else that he's supposed to do? I don't care about them. I will take the fees off so that there's no excuse. I don't care about the money. I care about you going and learning something so that you can deal with the anger issues. You understand? Think before you act. Think before you speak. Sometimes you have but a nanosecond to do it because it could land you in extremely hot water. Do you understand? So let's take a look at 2 weeks, make sure that it's good. Take a seat there. Council, come on.
We're taking a plea on Mr. Vasquez.
Okay, are you, okay. Luis, you ready? Good. I like it. That's good. So you said Vasquez, right?
Yes, he does have another last name. It starts with an A. I'm just, it's kind of a tongue twister.
It must be under a different name because I don't see it as Vasquez.
It's Aha Bahagaha, yes.
Acapage, something like that. Is it Aj Pakazaj? Aj.
I can't hear it. It's bad.
You know, you now have, you're charged with a second DWI. You're also charged with assault of a public servant, which is a felony case that you're still waiting on. There are some people, when they drink, they become very happy people, little bunnies jumping in the woods, happy people. And then there are some that turn into the freaking devil. Which one are you? If you cannot handle it, and if you and alcohol don't agree, perhaps it's time to stop with the alcohol. When you consume, bad things happen. And I hope that you take note now, because you will not get very many chances in life. Perhaps now, prison is the only way. I don't know. Does he have an ice cream?
He does, Judge.
If you want to live in this country without permission, don't get into trouble. You now know you have an immigration detainer. So after you're done with everything, immigration will get their hands on you. The only other thing I'm going to advise you that if you want to come back to this country, do it the right way. Because if you don't, you may very well be facing a 5-year minimum in federal prison for illegal reentry. You're now charged with your second DWI. You've worked out an agreement where they're offering you 1 year in jail with credit for the 140 days that you've already done. This will go on your records, and I'm going to tell you, if you ever get into a car again with even the faintest smell of alcohol, they will charge you with a third offense, and then you will be looking at 2 to 10 of the penitentiary. A third DWI is a felony DWI, up to 10 years. I would never, even if you had a sip of alcohol, get into a car, because you could be facing a ton of time. No beer is that good. No alcohol is that good. You give up the right to a trial, right to compel witnesses to testify on your behalf, confront and cross-examine any accusers. If you are not a citizen, there are possible immigration consequences. You can be deported, excluded from the country, denied naturalization under federal law. You give up the right to appeal. Once you accept this agreement, you can never change this or undo this. You understand?
Yes.
How do you plead to the offense? Guilty or not guilty? We'll find you guilty, sentence you to the 1 year in jail. I'll give you credit for the 140 days that you've done. I'm going to suspend your license for 2 years. Do not drive until you get a license. Good luck to you, sir.
Thank you, Judge. Might be excused.
We have 150 waiver.
Okay, I have a jury waiting, so don't worry about it. I'll just sign it.
Okay. And also I have to approach you on a Crystal Harbor. She's on the docket today, it's 190 days old.
What's the last name?
12.
Harper, Harber.
Okay.
It was my fault. I told her she didn't have to be here today.
Except for plea.
It's not, it should not be evidence except for plea. It's just to relay the offer. Okay. And if it was separate plea, it was not supposed to be separate plea. I just need a short reset with the required appearance. Sometime next week will be fine. I told her she didn't have to be here because the system shows that her appearance was waived. That's what I told her. Gotcha, Judge. Thank you.
I'll take 10 seconds, Your Honor. May I approach? David Romero just wanted to see that he completed the DWI education program, that's enrolled in IOPS. Just an update to that.
Okay, what's next?
He says complete IOP.
Okay, I'm not just ready to just roll, I need to know more. I need to do, this is a DWI gone wrong. DWI PTI, I have to know when he's doing it, when he signed up, how much he's done with the IOP.
Okay, he's already done with this education program. If you need more information, do you want to roll it to later this week and I can provide all that information?
I'm okay with that.
Okay.
I'm gonna do that, but. Okay.
Want to me approach?
Yeah.
Good morning, Judge. I've got Mr. Alvin Townsend on the docket this morning. He is present in the courtroom. I believe the case is 185 days old. Prosecutor and I have spoken. I believe I have all the discovery in this matter. To date, we have not reached an agreement on this matter.
Say it again.
To date, we have not reached an agreement yet on this matter.
What's time to set up a trial then? It's nearly 190 days old on just an erasing case. What have you guys offered?
Times under probation.
Oh, he has a prior one, that's one. Okay, Mr. Townsend, come up. When did you guys relay the offer? I gotta imagine it's been a while.
And Judge, our last setting, he agreed to have it here so he could review the offer.
Mr. Townsend, it's time to make a decision on what you want to do.
Yes,
I'm not waiting anymore. Your case is 190 days old. They've offered you time served. Did you say that there was anything else in it?
The probation officer, Judge.
They've also offered probation. It's your second case, so that's what happens.
Yes, sir.
You need to make a decision now what you want to do. If not, then we're going to set your case for trial.
Yes, sir.
And then that's the final. I'm not going to take anything after that. You understand?
Yes, sir.
Okay, guys.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Judge.
Here's some information from CLO, Judge.
No, it's clear trial.
The last time he came to court, he was supposed to provide a proof of SOP. This time, this is proof, his device was cleared, and I think it said he's supposed to finish SOP in
September.
September.
Yeah, he's doing everything he's supposed to.
We've done 3 classes since June. We are now in July 16th, and he's only done 3 classes in a month.
He had to register, he's doing, I mean, he's
No,
doing everything as soon as he
That's not
can.
right. That's not right. This cannot be right.
He wasn't told he was supposed to have a.
I know that you're always going at 100 miles an hour. I'm not ready to do something with this, Mr. Gold. I mean, I have to do a deeper dive. I told you, 3 classes in 1 month is not kosher, man. It's not. These classes you need to be doing at least once a week, something like that. This is not good. And especially in light that he's got other violations as it is. I'm not ready to reset this thing. I'm sorry. Mr.
He's not, he's waited today. Would you like to have another day where you can come in and
Oh,
explain?
he's not here.
His appearance isn't required today, Judge.
Of course it's required.
We were told that if we provide an update to the court, his appearance is waived. We felt we provided what the court required. We didn't know there was anything additional that he needed. He's been doing everything we thought he's supposed to, Judge. If you'd like to speak to him, and
3 classes in 1 month is not everything that's
that's
supposed to
almost
be
once a
done.
week, Judge. I mean, he'll be done by September.
I'll set up for bond forfeiture for tomorrow. I'm scheduled it tomorrow.
Could we do it maybe to Thursday or Friday so we won't be sitting, waiting for your trial?
The client is over there.
Oh, he's here?
So, yeah, he's over there.
Oh, I didn't know you were here, sir. Would you like to come up for a second and explain?
No, I have a jury waiting. I gotta get this thing started. I can talk with you when we take a break. It's not gonna be long because we only have a couple witnesses. So we're not gonna be going all day, okay?
Okay, so you want us to come back to talk to him?
Yeah, just hang tight.
Okay, Judge.
Okay. Tell me.
Judge, just quickly, Victoriano Chuquej Ortiz, CHUQUIE. Got the contract, I've got it reviewed it, we got the money order, got the appointment for tomorrow for the machine. Chuquej, CHUQU.
Okay.
So let's see if I can get him sworn into the contract and everything right now. I got the money order here, got the machine appointment for tomorrow.
Okay. You want to set it for Thursday?
Good. Or can I do it Friday or
No, we don't do that.
Monday? Thank you, Judge. We'll get it turned in everything. I'll get it turned in by tomorrow. Good
morning, Judge. I've got Michael Berkmeyer here for his plea on the DWI case.
Say it again?
Michael Berkmeyer is here for his plea. on the
Here,
DWI
okay.
case.
That's something that I need to think of a time with. I'm sorry, I have a jury waiting. I gotta move.
I understand.
Let me get started, get through with
Wanna
this,
break?
and then I'll.
Okay. Thank you.
All right, guys, I'm bringing the jury in. We have to get started with the trial, because they've been waiting already for an hour, over an hour. Okay. Do you mind bringing the jury? Tyler. Tyler. 5:10 for opening? Sure. 5:10 for opening?
I know.
That's fine.
Why is it split? And
Is everything okay?
No, why?
Maybe it's a little-
so it's two pictures there. It's normally just you. I mean, just the courtroom.
No, that's right.
Oh, that's right?
That's right.
Oh, okay, cool.
For some reason, that's what's.
Well, Victoriano. Rápido, rápido. Your signature. Espérame en la pasillo, en la pasillo. Still dragging.
Okay. All right, everyone, please be seated. And ladies and gentlemen of the jury, thank you so much for coming back. You didn't run off. I'm proud of you. Thank you so very much. So I like to give roadmaps of how things are going to go. So what's going to happen now is we will start with opening. After opening, the state will put on their case in chief. They will put on as many witnesses as they have. After they're done, they will rest, and then it'll be the defense's turn. And we'll go try to be as fast and as efficient as possible so as to be, expedient with your time, okay? All right, guys, would you like to start open? Sure. Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, Jared, thank you for being here today. Today, we are here to address the reckless and dangerous conduct of Mr. Martinez on August 31st, 2023. On that day, he put not only himself, but also the general public, everyone on our roadways, on August 23rd, or August 31st, 2023, Officer Casares observed Mr. Martinez speeding his motor vehicle on the tollway. You will hear about the initial traffic stop, the reason for the initial traffic stop and the ensuing investigation. And at the end of these 2 days, you will have heard all of the evidence, and we will have given you everything you need to determine that Mr. Martinez is guilty beyond a reasonable doubt of driving while intoxicated. You will see that his conduct on August 31st, 2023 constituted a clear violation of this state's laws prohibiting driving while intoxicated. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, at the end of testimony, we will then ask you to render the only true verdict that comports with the evidence that you will have seen. A verdict that, the verdict that justice demands, it is the verdict that the defendant is guilty of driving while intoxicated. I thank you all so much.
May I just, from voir dire, what you're not gonna see in this case is a typical DWI that you might be imagining in your mind, or that you might have seen on TV or heard about on the news. Nobody called anybody in who was driving like a maniac or weaving or a drunk driver out on the road. That's not this case. They said they'll provide you with everything they've got. I believe that's true. It's not much at all. It's certainly not enough where you're gonna say, wow, they have convinced me and proved to me beyond a reasonable doubt that this person is driving while intoxicated. Not enough to sign our signature on a verdict line saying this person is guilty, not enough to saddle him with a criminal conviction for the rest of his life, based on the evidence that they have. Sometimes they've got very strong evidence, there's no question, sometimes they don't. These guys are good guys, they're gonna show you what they got, it's up to you to decide. You'll probably even hear the officer state that you're free to decide guilty or not guilty. Nothing bad will happen to him if you say not guilty. You're gonna hear that when they pull somebody over and they smell alcohol, it's the safe thing to do to take them off the street. That's what he did. But from Bordeaux, here's sloppy was you're not gonna hear any evidence about a person being sloppy. When they asked about what signs of intoxication do you notice? Not all with it. That's not this case. You're not gonna see anything about that. There's gonna be no evidence that Mr. Martinez was ever confused about what was going on, that he was impaired. You're not gonna see any evidence from this scene, from this traffic stop, which will be on video, that he was impaired. What you are gonna see is that they pulled him over for, in the testimony, we're not gonna argue with the officer. He says he radared him at 100 miles an hour in a 60. He's not on trial for speeding. If he was, we wouldn't be here, okay? This is DWI. So all this other stuff, like, I respectfully disagree. You're not gonna hear any evidence that he put anybody in danger. You're gonna see one other car on the road, not even in the same lane. There's no other traffic on the road. He didn't put anybody in danger. Nobody called him in saying you're putting anybody in danger. So I respectfully disagree with that. You'll see the video of the stop and you can see that that's just not this case. Impaired, that was another thing. You're gonna see about a minute of interaction with Mr. Martinez where they come to his window, talk to him, and his speech is perfect. I bet he says it was slurred. I don't think you're gonna see that. Asks him right then, automatically, because if you're driving at night and you're speeding, you're obviously intoxicated, right? That's the only explanation. Well, have you been drinking? He's gonna say, yes, a little bit. He says, I had one drink, That's for you to decide and to judge. I mean, does everybody always tell the police exactly how many drinks they had? Probably not. They might say none, they might say couple, but it doesn't really matter because whatever he says he had to drink, they've got to prove them that he was driving while intoxicated beyond a reasonable doubt. And there are tests in their arsenal, in their tools. They have tools they can use to determine if a person is intoxicated, like the standardized field sobriety test. And you're going to hear that Mr. Martinez made a knowing decision, conscious decision to not take those tests. And he was still sitting in his car, and the officer said, so you gonna take any of my tests? He's like, no, sir. And it's something that you can listen. It's something like I've either been told not to, or advised, or don't trust those tests, or something. I'm not sure many people do trust those tests. It's awkward balancing tests to determine if a person has their normal physical faculties. But you can listen, and you'll also hear, this is important, that the officer's gonna say every single person has the right to refuse those balancing tests. And that's what he chose to do. So if you get pulled over and you smell like alcohol, first of all, you're gonna hear the officer say it's not DWI just because you smell like alcohol. You can drink and smell like alcohol and drive and not be intoxicated. So the odor of alcohol alone, you're gonna hear, that doesn't prove a person's intoxicated. You all know that. You can drink some alcohol and not be intoxicated and smell like alcohol. And he made a decision to not take those tests. And that's it. They get him out of the car, they arrest him for DWI. That's it. That's all you see. Pulled him over for speeding. He says, I had one drink while he's still sitting in the car. They get out and put him up against the car, handcuff him. Case is over. Not in control of the vehicle. That's not this case. Aloof. You're not gonna see any evidence of him acting aloof, falling asleep. He's certainly alert, quick with his answers, smiley, friendly, cooperative. I was coming from 59. I lived 10 minutes away. Wasn't dancing with a lampshade on his head. You'll see no evidence of any loss of inhibitions. You won't see it. This is quick. This is a very quick case. You're not gonna see him overly affectionate. He's not trying to hug the police officer or do anything crazy like that. He's not acting loud, not talking loud. You're not gonna hear that he has possibly difficulty hearing the officer, or that he's trying to over enunciate or make short sentences. These are all things that I took notes on of what y'all said would indicate a person is intoxicated. You also said, well, a breath test or a blood test would help. I'm not sure you're gonna see any of that. So I've pretty much given you an overview of everything you have. I will tell you one other thing. I'll tell you all the bad. So there's no surprises. He was speeding, wasn't weaving, going too fast, probably faster than you and I may go. You don't have to like everything you see. You may see him do things that you and I wouldn't do, but that's not driving while intoxicated. You got to separate, well, I wouldn't have done that, with what they have to prove, all those elements. Not having your normal mental faculties by reason of the introduction of alcohol, not having your normal physical faculties by the reason of introduction of alcohol, or to prove that you were a 0.08 or higher at the time you were driving. That's how they can prove it. You're gonna hear that, maybe I'll just tell you, it's no big secret, that he was chewing gum, because that's something they asked. If he was here on trial for speeding and chewing gum, we would not be here, okay? We don't know if he was chewing gum before, we don't know if he was chewing gum when the cop pulled him over. All I know is, think about it, you know, if you've been drinking a drink and you got pulled over, even if you weren't intoxicated, think about how you would feel. You might be nervous. I probably put a piece of gum in my mouth too, but even though he had gum in his mouth, it didn't mask. They were talking about masking. It didn't mask the odor of alcohol because the officer says he smelled alcohol. But I'll just tell you that right now because you're going to hear that he had gum in his mouth and he was speeding. And aside from that, there's not much else that is going to prove to you that he was driving while intoxicated, that he was intoxicated at all. Okay, thank you very much.
Okay, thank you. All right, State, you want to call your first witness?
Yeah, sure. State Hall Sport World Pichawak Casares.
Okay. Come on, Brandon, please. All right, officer, if you could please come up and stand. Please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Yes. Any testimony will be the truth? Yes. All right, please come on up. Take a seat. All right, I'm going to ask you to please speak loudly, clearly. If you hear the word objection, just stop. After it's been addressed, you may continue. Okay? Thank you. You may continue.
Good morning, officer. Could you please introduce yourself to the jury?
Hello, jury. My name is Deputy Cuitlava Casares.
And then could you spell that for the reporter?
Yes, it will be Cuitlavahuac, which is a first name. Last name is Casares, Cazares.
You're obviously a police officer. With what agency do you work for?
I am employed with the Harris County Constable's Precinct 2.
How long have you been at Precinct 2?
About 2 years.
What did you do before you were at Precinct 2?
I was a detective with Jacinto City
Okay.
Police Department.
How long have you been a police officer?
I've been a police officer for 19 years.
Before you were a police officer with Center City, were you the entire time? Sorry, I'll rephrase it. For the entire time before, or when you were with Center City, was that the entirety of your police career?
No, sir.
Okay, what did you do before Center City?
I was at Port Houston Police Department for 13 years.
Okay. And then what was your educational background before you became a police officer?
I attended college for 1 year and then attended the Academy, Police Academy.
Just take it outside.
Okay.
You may continue.
Thank you, Your Honor. What sort of training did you do to become a police officer?
I went through the academy and did my 2 hours and then went into the test at Austin to receive my certification.
And you are a certified peace officer at the state of Texas, correct?
Yes, sir.
What is your current assignment?
I am a corporal for patrol.
And then on August 31st, 2023, what was your assignment?
I was toll road, Harris County toll road traffic enforcement officer.
And what was the purpose of that assignment?
That assignment is to keep toll road safe for other passersby, for speeding vehicles, racing vehicles, intoxicated drivers, and other duties that they use.
And when you say toll road, which toll road?
It's the southeast toll road, 45 between 45 and 288.
And how long were you at that assignment?
I was there for 1.5 years.
As part of your assignment, were you trained on the enforcement of traffic law?
Yes, sir.
Specifically, have you had any specialized training pertaining to intoxicated drivers?
Yes, sir.
We're going to talk briefly about that training. What sort of certification or training do you have to receive as part of learning about the enforcement of traffic laws?
To perform those, you have to have the SFST's practitioner, which is a 24 hours training for detection of DWI, DUI.
And who certifies you for that?
TCO.
And in order to become certified, you have to do field training, classroom training, both?
Both, yes.
Could you tell me about the classroom training?
The classroom training consisted of the standardized spiritual writing testing. And it was a training also in the lab work where they have volunteers to come and drink alcoholic beverages, and we perform SFSTs on them.
Okay. And you perform the SFSTs on sober people and drunk people?
Yes, sir.
And the field training, what does that entail?
Field training consists of cost of service entry, cost of service, traffic, penal code, and also making arrests.
Are you currently certified to administer the standard field sobriety tests?
Yes, sir.
When were you last certified?
That certification, I think, was March the 21st, 2022, but for that. Sure, my last training was March 20th. Excuse me, December 20th, 2022, as a SFST practitioner of it.
Thank you, officer. Has all of this specialized training improved your ability to identify intoxicated drivers?
Yes, sir.
Great. So let's talk about how you identify intoxicated drivers. Have you conducted evaluations of people you have suspected to be intoxicated on many or few occasions?
Yes, sir.
Many or few?
Many.
And based on your training and experience, do you really need to be an expert in determining whether or not a individual is intoxicated?
Yes, yes.
Okay. So a layperson wouldn't be able to determine whether or not a person was intoxicated.
I believe they would, and maybe even the mom could determine if I was drunk.
So are you trained to arrest every single person you initially believe is intoxicated?
No, sir.
Why are some people let go?
They, as performing the SFSDs, the clues are not conclusive, so they are let go.
So the SFSDs show that they are, so. Briefly, let's talk about some of the classic signs of intoxication that a person can exhibit. Could you tell me what some of the classic signs are?
The classic signs, slur speech, red bloodshot eyes, sometimes they have glossy eyes.
Anything else you observe during a traffic stop that would indicate that the driver would be intoxicated?
Usually, the melody effect. The melody effect.
What is that?
That is where the person is intoxicated, but he feels good, and the person is.
Your Honor, I'm gonna respectfully object. I think that discussing the scientific theory of the Mellenby effect is outside the scope of this officer's area of expertise.
Response?
We'll move on, Judge.
Yeah.
Thank you. All right, it'll be sustained. Go ahead.
Thank you, Your Honor. When you come across someone with these signs of intoxication, what are you trying to do?
Perform the SFSTs.
And do you just perform the SFSTs, or do you ask the person to perform the SFSTs?
I ask the person, usually I ask them, do they consent to it? And I give them an opportunity to consent to it.
Would you be able to force someone to perform the standard field sobriety tests?
No, sir.
Thank you. And what is the purpose of those standard field sobriety tests?
Is to understand the content of alcohol beverage within a person of intoxication.
Great. We're going to direct our attention now to the night of August 31st, 2023. Were you on duty that night?
Yes, sir.
What shift were you working?
Night shift.
And what part of town were you assigned?
Southeast.
And when you were on duty, did you come in contact with someone by the name of Francisco Martinez?
Yes, sir.
Do you see that person in the courtroom today?
Yes, sir.
Can you identify him by a piece of clothing?
Mark, sir.
Your Honor, may the record reflect that the witnesses identified the defendant. Oh, please. Identify the defendant. I apologize, Your Honor. Corporal Casares, how did you first come in contact with the defendant?
My contact with the defendant was doing a traffic enforcement on the toll road.
Okay.
And
I'm sorry, continue.
I was doing traffic enforcement, looking for speakers, and I observed a silver Lexus traveling at high rate of speed, which is 100 miles an hour, and that's what initiated me to make contact.
Okay. And about, do you know the address of where you were on the toll road?
It was a 7100 block of the South San Houston toll road.
And that address is in Harris County, Texas?
Yes, sir.
On the night of the incident, were you wearing a body camera?
Yes, sir.
And was your police vehicle equipped with a dash camera?
Yes, sir, it is.
Right. Your Honor, may I approach the witness, please?
Yes, sir.
Officer Cazares, I've handed you 3 exhibits. They're marked as safety exhibits 1, 2, and 3. Do you recognize them?
Yes, sir.
How do you recognize them?
Recognize it for the dash cam. The videos from the dash cam and body cam.
And were they made at or near the time you came in contact with the defendant?
Yes, sir.
Have you watched them previously?
Yes, sir.
Or do they fairly and accurately represent the events that occurred that night?
Yes, sir.
If you turn them over, is that your signature on the back?
Yes, sir.
And obviously, these videos were made on devices that were capable of making accurate recordings.
Correct, yes, sir.
Have they been altered in any way?
No, sir.
And then after the dash cam is recorded and the body cam is recorded, how is the tape preserved?
It's uploaded to the link on the Polaris system, utility camera.
Your Honor, the state would like to introduce, tender the exhibits to
To
the
the
defense.
defense, so for any objection, or do you have any objection? Do you want to go take a look real quick?
If I could look at it.
Yes, sure.
Yeah, approach the. No objections.
So, hold on, what is number one?
Number one is the body worn camera, Your Honor.
Okay, body worn camera. Number two is,
I'm sorry, number one is the dash cam, number two is the body worn camera.
okay,
Yes, it says on this, and then number three is the body worn camera that was made at the station.
okay, so which one did you want to play now?
Right now it would be the dash camera.
Okay, are you ready?
Permission to publish.
Please.
Dash cameras.
Your Honor, the state would like to publish exhibit 1 from 00 to 1 minute and 21 seconds. Okay. Is that one? Officer Cazares, keep your voice up. Sorry, Officer Cazares, could you tell me what we just saw in the video?
Just saw the same Lexus that was speeding 100 miles an hour.
How did you know he was traveling 100 miles per hour?
The monitoring radar determined the speed.
Did Mr. What got your attention for Mr. Martinez's car?
The speed.
Okay, and what lane was his car in?
It was in lane number 1.
Okay, what is lane number 1?
Lane number 1, they count from inside. They count 1 lane all the way to the outside lane.
So lane number 1 is the leftmost lane?
Yes.
And where was your car?
My car was on the right shoulder.
Okay. And then after you noticed his vehicle, what did you do next?
I initiated my emergency equipment.
And what type of car was Mr. Martinez's vehicle?
That was a silver Lexus.
And that is a motor vehicle?
Yes, sir.
And when you and what was the speed limit on the toll road?
It's posted 65 miles an hour.
And is driving at a speed of 100 miles per hour dangerous to the driver of the vehicle that's traveling at 100 miles per hour?
Yes, sir. As you saw, it was a second vehicle body,
Okay.
which could.
But, to Mr. Martinez, is him traveling at 100 miles per hour dangerous to him himself?
Yes.
What could happen if, and in your experience, if someone's traveling at 100 miles per hour?
In my experience on the toll road, if you would have had a blowout, you would hit the wall.
Your Honor, sorry, I'm gonna object. This is talking about speculation on things that could have happened that did not happen.
We'll move on, Your Honor.
Please.
All right, when you came up in, after you pulled over, Mr. Martinez, what happened next?
I observed that he pulled over to the left instead of over to the right.
Is it typical that people pull over to the left?
Not necessarily usually to the right.
Okay. Why should you pull over to the right instead of the left?
That's safer.
Okay. In what way?
Lane number one, we have a lot of speeding vehicles through there.
Okay. And after the cars came to a stop, what did you do next?
I made contact with the driver.
Okay. And about what time was this?
It was about midnight.
Okay. Right, when you came into contact with the driver, where was Mr. Martinez?
He was in the driver's seat.
Was there anyone else in the car?
No, sir.
When you first made contact with Mr. Martinez, what was the first thing that you noticed?
The first thing I noticed that he had his driver's license and insurance card already sticking out outside his window, bouncing up and down.
For you to take it?
Yes, sir.
And what else did you notice?
I noticed that he had slush piece, red bloodshot eyes. And I noticed that he was leaning all the way back to where in layman's terms, he's not less impaired, but he feels good to where he made a decision to.
Objection, that calls for speculation on what Mr. Martinez was thinking and why he was leaning back.
Officer.
Stick to what you know, please.
Yes, sir.
Your Honor, ask for a ruling on that objection, please. That's the speculation. And ask that if the court wouldn't mind instructing the jury to please disregard the last statement of the officer.
And did you smell anything, officer?
You certainly smell border alcohol.
And as to his speech, what was his speech like?
Short, quick answers.
And his, could you tell me about his eyes?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Could you tell me about his eyes?
Red bloodshot, droopy eyes.
Officer, how do you rule out that someone is sleepy or tired, or they might have come into a smoky environment, having an allergic reaction? How do you rule out those sorts of things?
The sort of things is how to rule them out is if they're tired, they will not drive when they're tired. I believe there's also an opportunity to where they can pull over and refresh themselves.
Generally, would the odor of alcohol eliminate the idea that this person is just tired?
Yes, sir.
Right, now, officer, did you ask Mr. Martinez if he had been drinking?
Yes, sir. I did.
What did he say?
At first, he said he had several.
And then what did he say?
After that, he didn't say anything. I told him that I would come back with him.
Right, now, Your Honor, the state would move to publish Exhibit 2 from 2 minutes to 3 minutes and 45 seconds. Yeah, just play. Okay.
Going home? Where you coming from? Over. 59? We had, did you drink that? Little bit? I'm just working in this little country. Excuse me, right?
Thank you. Officer, if we can turn your attention to the video you just saw. And could you tell us what you just saw?
Sure, Mr. Martinez, as I said, with the driver license and insurance already sitting out the window. Also observed him, shooting.
Did Mr. Martinez say where he was coming from?
He said 59.
And how far away was I-59 from where you were?
I'd say maybe about 12 miles, maybe.
And were there other vehicles on the road going by while you're approaching the vehicle?
Yes, sir.
Was it several vehicles?
Several vehicles, yes, sir.
Did Mr. Martinez admit to, did you ask him if he was drinking alcohol?
Yes, sir.
And what did he say there?
He said, several.
After this interaction, what did you do?
After that, I went back to my vehicle to see if he had any priors, driving while intoxicated.
And did you talk to anyone while you were in your vehicle?
No, sir.
What did you do after you were done being in the your patrol vehicle?
After that, I made a decision to call Cobra at the time.
And what happened there?
I waited to I actually went and spoke to the driver again.
I'm sorry, say that again?
I went back and spoke to the driver again.
Why did you reapproach the driver?
That's phase 3 of that's a guy.
So to continue the investigation?
Yes, sir.
And Your Honor, for the record, we're publishing State's Exhibit 2 at the 6-minute 30 mark.
We're here. How much do you have to create alcohol beverage? One. You know what I'm asking is I can sell the alcohol, okay? Make some vehicle, so you can do this right there, real quick. No? You don't do this right there? Okay. Right, I understand it, but you have been doing it, right?
Officer, what did that video show?
I show that the defendant refused to submit to the fifth right test
And why did you ask them to perform the standard field sobriety tests?
because of the alcohol. Alcohol embarrassment.
And you performed these tests multiple times?
Yes, sir.
What did the field sobriety tests, what information would they have given you?
Many content of alcohol of the parent.
And if you performed the standard field sobriety tests and the defendant showed that he was sober, would you have let him go?
Yes, sir.
Did the defendant say anything to you while you were conducting your investigation on that video?
He did tell me something irrelevant that he was with his drinking buddies or kids drinking buddies.
And did he admit to drinking during that portion of the video?
Yes, he did.
After you concluded your interaction that was shown in that video, what did you do next?
I went back to my unit to contact my corporal at the time, so he can assist me with the traffic control.
Okay. And we're gonna get briefly into what the standard field sobriety tests are. Okay, oh, no, never mind, we're gonna skip that. Did you return back to the defendant's, to Mr. Martinez's vehicle after you spoke with your corporal?
Yes.
Okay. Could you tell me what happened?
Once my corporal arrived, I approached the vehicle and asked Mr. Martinez to step out of the vehicle. And I placed him in custody for suspicion of that.
Okay. Thank you, sir. We're going to turn our attention to another video. Your Honor, the state would like to publish Exhibit 2 from 12 minutes and 20 seconds to 13 minutes and 30 seconds. Officer, could you tell us what that view showed? And officer, were you in contact with the person, with Mr. Martinez's body during?
Yes.
Could you feel anything from Mr. Martinez's?
When he stepped out the vehicle, he stumbled a little bit, so I felt that I needed to keep him close to me, just in case he would stumble and fall.
Was his gait standard while you were escorting him to the police car?
I could feel him pulling like if it was, moving forward.
Now, Officer Martinez, we'll address the totality of the circumstances. Just because a person has a strong odor of alcohol in their breath, that doesn't necessarily mean that they're intoxicated, correct?
Correct.
And it is, if you notice that someone has red glassy eyes alone, that doesn't indicate that they're intoxicated, correct?
Correct.
And if someone only has slurred speech, that doesn't necessarily mean they're intoxicated.
No, correct.
And if they have poor balance, that doesn't necessarily mean that they're intoxicated if they only exhibit poor balance.
Correct.
Okay. As an officer, if someone refuses to perform the standard field sobriety test, does that necessarily mean that they're intoxicated?
I believe they're hiding evidence of intoxication.
Officer, you've had many, you've observed, have you observed intoxicated persons on few or many occasions?
Yes, sir.
Few or many?
Many.
Okay. And did Mr. Martinez exhibit some of the same signs of intoxication?
Yes, sir, he did.
He didn't just exhibit one sign?
No, sir.
Great. And as an officer, have you seen other defendants refuse to perform the standard field sobriety tests?
Yes, sir.
Have you seen other defendants who you would suspect of being intoxicated chew on gum or eat mints?
Some, yes, sir.
And so why didn't you just write Mr. Martinez a ticket for speeding that time?
If he would have performed the SFSTs, I would have determined that he was intoxicated or not. If he wasn't intoxicated, performing the SFSTs, I would have given him a citation.
Could you determine if Mr. Martinez, without the SFSTs, could you determine if Mr. Martinez was safe to be put onto the road?
No, sir.
After you detained Mr. Martinez, what did you do next?
I transported him to the Harris County Juvenile Processing Center.
Your Honor, we approach.
Object to the legality of the arrest because he puts him in handcuffs and he does say that he's in custody and he actually calls it in custody for DWI at that point when he's like on the car. And he just answered that, and he said, did you believe that you had determined that he was intoxicated or whatever he asked the question? And he said, no, I didn't. So I don't think there's enough probable cause for an arrest at this point, based on his testimony.
Let's keep going.
Because that's the point of the arrest though, right there.
Refusal to use SFSTs can act as evidence for a probable cause for an arrest.
This may be. Instruct the witness to quit shaking his head in front of the jury while we're talking.
This may be more appropriate conversation outside
Right. So let's do this outside of the presence, not right now.
Okay.
I want them.
But the next
I just didn't know he was going to say that right then. That's the only
I was
reason.
gonna bring it up a little bit later, but I'm gonna let you finish.
Okay, sounds good.
The next step is.
Yes.
How much more do you have left?
Just letting you guys see that.
Okay.
Okay, so, okay.
Sure.
Thank you, officer. After you put Mr. Martinez in the back of the police car, what did you do next?
I transported Mr. Martinez to the Harris County Juvenile Processing Center.
Based on your training and experience and everything you observed on August 31st, 2023, did you form an opinion as to whether or not Mr. Martinez had lost his normal use of his physical faculties?
Yes, sir.
What was that opinion?
Speed.
Okay. Anything else?
The slur speech, right, bloodshot eyes.
Based on your training and experience and everything you observed on August 31st, 2023, did you form an opinion as to whether or not Mr. Martinez had lost the normal use of his mental faculties?
Yes, sir.
And what did you base that opinion on?
On, when he said, I'm coming from 59, I didn't understood if it was a freeway 59 or a restaurant 59 or anything like that.
Anything else?
No, sir.
And what was that opinion?
What's that?
What was the opinion that you came to?
That it was intoxicated.
That I asked you, that he lost the normal use, did you form an opinion as to whether or not he lost the normal use of his mental faculties?
Yes.
And based on your opinion, or based on your training and experience and everything you observed on that night, have you formed an opinion as to whether or not the defendant was driving while intoxicated?
Yes, sir.
And what was that opinion? But what was the opinion?
The, he refused the physical right test.
What was your opinion as to whether or not he was intoxicated?
But he refused to yes proceed.
Did you believe he was intoxicated?
Objection, that's been asked and answered several times.
Overruled. Let me try to answer.
And in your opinion, what was the source of the defendant's impairment?
The speed.
No, the source of the impairment.
Oh, alcohol.
Okay.
Alcohol beverage.
When you got to a JPC, did you read the defendant any warnings regarding the giving of a breath or blood sample?
Yes, sir. I read the DSC 24, the statutory warning.
Was this caught on camera?
Yes, sir, it was.
Your Honor, state requests permission to publish Exhibit 3 previously. Okay. Yes.
Your other mandatory, the, for not the right to know the activity have been committed on the. For one craft you will be acting to the person in the correct. This will be analyzed until we call. Substance drug is drug or substance in the body. You need to be a person in the accused of the initial prosecution. The license for the village of the world will be discriminated against 180 days. Whether or not you are successfully prosecuted for the office. You refuse to enter the taking this system. You got 21 years of age or older. Your license permit for further operating motor vehicle is suspended or reauthorized. And jail for duration may be subject to criminal penalties and not provided on the chapter 49 appeal. These measures are taken away. Most persons, especially being taken to serve according to Article 3 of the Code of Criminal Procedure. If you are operating motor vehicle, you need to see the specimen of the license you should be on full concentration of vehicle duration. You will be disqualified from driving to issue with vehicle for a period of non-certain. You may request a hearing on the suspension or denial. This request must be received by the State Department of Public Safety and later the 15 days of the ministry or pursuant to have received notice of suspension or denial. The request will be made by written demand, fax, or other form of department. I certify that I have fully both order and in writing of the consequences of the use of taking this person for providing expression. I certify that I have requested the signature below acknowledging the voluntary consent of the person. I certify I have provided you with a complete and true copy of this. I know this person. This person will.
Officer, what is the DIC 24 form?
The DIC 24 is a statutory one.
Did you inform the defendant of the consequences of refusing a breath or blood test?
Yes, sir, I did.
What are those consequences?
The DO driver license suspension for 180 days, and the refusal will be used against him in court.
Did you inform? So you informed the defendant that his refusal to provide a sample of his breath and or blood could be used as evidence in a criminal trial against him?
Yes, sir.
Your Honor, may I personal witness with the exhibit?
Yes.
Your Honor, I've provided the witness a copy of what's previously been marked as exhibit number 4. Do you recognize that?
Yes.
Could you tell me what it is?
It's a statutory one.
Is it the DIC 24?
Yes, sir, the DIC 24.
Is it a true and correct copy of the same warnings that you read to the defendant that night?
Yes, sir, it is.
Has it been altered in any way?
No, sir.
Was it made at or near the time the events we're discussing?
Yes, sir.
Was it made in the ordinary course of business of the Constable Precinct 2's police department?
Yes, sir.
Did you provide a copy to the defendant that night?
Yes, sir.
Is there a place for Mr. Martinez to sign?
Yes, sir.
And did he sign it?
No, sir.
Did you sign it?
I did.
Okay. And it has not been altered in any way?
No, sir.
Your Honor, at this time, I'd like to tender the exhibit number 4 to defense counsel and offer it for publishing to the jury.
Okay.
I have an objection based on what we discussed, and if it's okay with the court, kind of approach or.
No, let's just keep continuing so we can be efficient and you can raise your arguments later on. I'll allow it for now. I'm gonna admit it, but come on, let's keep it going.
May I publish to the jury? Officer Casares, what happened after you read Mr. Martinez the statutory warrants?
I contacted the DA to draft the blood warrant.
Did you request a sample of his breath? Yes. So even knowing that if you refuse to provide a breath or blood sample for the test, the refusal would be used as evidence in court as intoxication, the defendant still refused?
Yes, sir.
And then what happened after you refused?
After he refused, I contacted the Harris County DA's office and spoke to the DA to draft the warrant, blood warrant.
Your Honor, may I actually witness with was previously the Martinez exhibit time? Thank Thank you, officer. I provided you with what has been marked as State's Exhibit 5. Could you, do you recognize that?
Yes, sir.
Could you tell me what it is?
This is the search warrant.
Okay. Is it a true and correct copy of the same search warrant that you received from the magistrate that night?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Is it signed by a magistrate?
Yes, sir, it is.
Is it a fair and accurate representation of the search warrant on the night of August 30th, 2023?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Has it been altered in any way?
No, sir.
Okay. Your Honor, the state would move to admit State's Exhibit number 5 in tender to defense.
I don't need to look at it, I've seen it, but I still have to make an objection based on no probable cause. According to the officer's testimony, he stated earlier about when he made his decision for an arrest.
Okay. Overruled. Objection.
Your Honor, may I publish to the jury? Thank you.
But do it that way so it's more efficient, please.
We're gonna try.
Officer Casares, after you obtained the search warrant, was it signed?
Yes, sir, it was.
Who signed it?
Judge Darrell Scott.
And what time was it signed?
01:15.
And what happened after the search warrant was signed?
I presented the search warrant to the UHP technician.
And who was the HPD technician?
Christopher Rance.
And what did he do?
He executed the warrant.
And how did he execute the warrant?
We took the defendant to a control room technician, I think it was technician one, and he helped me execute the warrant to put a look.
And that's a sterile environment?
Yes, sir.
Your Honor, may I approach with State's Exhibit 7, 8, 9, and 10? Okay. Officer, do you recognize what those are?
Yes, sir.
Could you tell the jury what those?
Those are two vials of blood.
Okay, and how many different exhibits did I hand you?
4.
Okay. On those vials of blood, do you see your initials anywhere?
Yes, sir. On number 4.
Okay. And do you recognize those vials of blood, those photographs to be photographs of the same 2 vials of blood?
Yes, sir.
I'll take those back right now. Thank you, officer. Thank you, Your Honor. The state will pass the witness.
So that now it's what, 11:02. Okay, Mr. Flood, you ready?
I'm sorry, did the state pass?
State pass witness. It's
All
your-
right. Yes, I'm ready, Judge.
Okay.
So where to begin? You saw the video that we all watched of you approaching Mr. Martinez, right?
Yes, sir.
And despite your insistence on what you're telling, well, you told the jury that you asked him how much he had to drink, or if he had been drinking, right? That he admitted he had.
Yes, sir.
It's not illegal to drink alcohol and then drive if you're not intoxicated, right?
Correct.
Are you a drinker?
No, sir.
You don't drink any alcohol?
No, sir.
Okay. Do you think everybody that drinks alcohol and then drives is guilty of DWI?
No, sir.
So you said you were out that night as a speed, to look for speeders?
It was a traffic enforcement, yes, sir.
I think you said you were out there looking for speeders
Speeders, yes.
and also drunk drivers.
Yes, sir.
So you were like the speeding and drunk driving enforcer that night.
Correct.
Are you familiar with the saying that when you're a hammer, everything looks like a nail?
True.
So that was kind of your role that night. You were out there looking for, I mean, it was the night shift.
Yes,
You're
sir.
looking for people to arrest or pull over for DWI, right?
Correct.
And you happen to find someone who looked like a nail. He was speeding and you smelled an odor of alcohol, right?
Yes, sir.
Now, you wrote an office report in this case, correct?
Yes, sir.
And you wrote that close in time to when this happened, right?
Correct.
You bring a copy of that with you?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I saw you kind of looking down earlier. It's okay to refresh your memory, because I know it was a little time ago, but can I just ask you, you don't read directly from it, word for word? But I mean, if you say, hey, do you mind if I refresh my memory? That's fine, okay?
Okay.
You stated that you smelled an odor of alcohol on his breath.
Yes, sir.
And that was when the state was asking you questions right here. You didn't say I smelled a strong odor of alcohol.
Correct.
You didn't say I smelled a heavy odor of alcohol. You just said I smelled an odor of alcohol.
Okay.
Right?
Yes, sir.
You could have said, when they said, what did you smell? You could have said, I smelled a strong or heavy odor of alcohol on his breath, right?
That's correct.
But you did not say that.
That's correct.
But you'd agree with me anyway, though, that just having the odor of alcohol on your breath, that doesn't prove a person's intoxicated.
That's correct.
Everybody knows that, right?
Yes, sir.
It doesn't even tell you how much alcohol a person has consumed, right?
That's correct.
Even if you said a strong odor of alcohol, that doesn't mean that, well, that person's really consumed a ton of alcohol, right?
Correct.
Okay, so he admitted to drinking. You smelled the odor of alcohol. That makes sense, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Him drinking and him admitting to it and you smelling it, that doesn't mean he was intoxicated though, right?
That's correct.
Okay. Now, I don't know who's, I mean, I'm 53, my hearing's not what it used to be, but he didn't say I had several. We didn't hear that. Are you telling the jury that that's what you heard? How old are you?
I'm 50.
Do you wear hearing aids?
No, sir.
Do you have trouble hearing? Has any of your family?
Sometimes they're close room, yes.
Okay. Have family members ever said something like that, like they have to me, that you have to repeat themselves?
But sometimes.
After listening to it, I think once or twice, are you still trying to, I mean, you're under oath here, right?
Yes, sir.
And you're still telling these folks here that we all heard that he said, I had several drinks? Or do you want to change that answer now? Just tell us the truth. He never said several drinks.
Okay, correct. Yes, sir.
Well, why, I mean, they got this man charged with a criminal offense. You understand that?
Mhm.
If you were charged or a family member, would you want an officer up there not telling the truth to a jury?
Well, in.
Objection, Your
No,
Honor.
sir.
No, sir. Is that your answer?
No, sir.
So why is it okay for you to do that? You said it wasn't the truth.
No, I never said that, sir.
Did he say several drinks?
He said a few, yes.
Did he say, I had several drinks, like you testified 2 times?
Yeah, that's an answer, Judge.
Which is it? Because you just said, no, he didn't say that.
No, he said a few.
Is that fair to exaggerate facts or to tell the jury things that are not true?
No, because a few means several.
But he never said several. He never said a few. You know, you play it again? I'll play it as many times as you want. Can you, if I played it again, can you point out to the jury where he said I had a few drinks? Officer, look, I'm not trying to trick you.
Mhm.
This is important. We want to be fair,
Yes, sir.
right?
Yes, sir.
We want to be fair, right?
Mhm.
Your job's too important to not tell the truth under oath, isn't it?
That's correct.
I mean, is it that important that you've got to exaggerate and make up things that aren't true just to try to convict this guy?
No, I'm not trying to convict nobody.
Well, then why aren't you telling the truth to the jury? We all heard it.
The video showed the truth.
Right. The video shows the truth.
Yes, sir.
You asked him if he had been drinking.
Yes, sir.
He said a little bit. Right?
I need to go back and see the video.
Really? It's not important to you? Did you watch the video before testifying?
Yes, I did, sir. Yes.
You did?
Yes, sir.
Did you get a subpoena from the state to be here for this
Yes.
truck? I love the court reporter, Ramona. She will yell at me if we talk over each other, okay? She can only write down one person at a time. I get it, you know what I'm asking, but would you mind waiting until I finish before you answer? Because both of you and I will get in trouble. All right? I just wanted to be clear about what happened, and we have the video, and then we have what you're saying the video said. Those don't match up, do they? Yes or no? Is what you told the jury match up with what is on the video?
Yes.
How is that okay? That's not okay. You went up to him and you asked him, have you been drinking? And he said a little bit, right? I will play the video again. It's in evidence. Do I need to, or will you just agree with me that that's the truth? Because if you're not going to agree with me that that's the truth, you want me to play it again?
Sure.
You guys mind? Help them drive.
There's a 3-minute gap in the thing on this one.
Do you mind?
Yeah. I don't just want it says.
You can skip past the stop. So,
It smells like smoke. I don't know what it is. They're gonna go investigate it now.
Officer Caceres, I'm going to show you the 2 interactions that you had with Mr. Martinez at his driver's side window, okay?
Yes, sir.
Well, I'm not going to play everything, but if there's a part that you'd like for me to play, will you ask me to show that part?
Sure.
I don't want to make it look like I'm leaving anything out, okay?
Okay.
And I don't know if the volume can go higher than y'all have.
Your Honor, for the record, that's State's Exhibit 2 at the 2-minute 34-second mark.
Mr. Martinez, these were stuck 900 miles an hour. Well, where you coming from? Over? 59? We got anything to drink tonight? Little bit?
You stop it. What- You said, how much did he have to drink? Have you had anything to drink? What did he say?
A little bit.
A little bit. He didn't say a few, correct?
Correct.
He did not say several, correct? Okay, so that's not a part of this case.
Correct.
Okay, go ahead, thank you.
Excuse me, sir.
And 6 minutes and 30 seconds.
Well, yeah, yes, you did. Skip that, I'm sorry. I didn't want you to- Oh,
And Your Honor, for the record, this is 6 minutes 33 seconds. State's Exhibit 2. 6:32.
Repeat it. How much do you have to drink alcohol beverages? Only one? Okay. You know, I'm asking, back in study, alcohol.
You came back to the vehicle, you asked him again, how much have you had to drink tonight? And he said, 1. And you said, are you sure? He said, yeah. He didn't say a few, right? He never said several, correct?
Correct.
Is there anywhere else on the video that he said a few or several?
No, there's a part of the video where it says honestly, yeah.
I'm sorry?
There's a part of the video where he says honestly,
He said,
yes, honestly, yes.
yeah.
Or yeah.
Well, that's why I wanted to show you what the state showed you. And the answers that you gave don't match up with what Mr. Martinez said, right?
Correct.
Okay. We heard you ask him 2 times about drinking. Did he ever say he had a few or several?
No, sir.
But why would you come to court under oath and tell the jury that? Why? That's, may I approach the witness, Your Honor? I've got copies of your offense report.
Yes, sir.
I'd like to show them to you. I don't know what you have, but you wrote in your office report, right, that you asked the driver if he had any alcoholic beverages, right? We heard that. That's the whole purpose of that on body cam, right? We see the truth. That's the truth.
Right.
Not what you're saying, right? Right?
Yes, sir.
And he stated, what did you write? He had only 1, and you put O-N-E, and then you put parentheses and the number 1 in there to make sure that there was no confusion in your office report that he said he had 1 drink. You never wrote anywhere that he had a few or several, or that he came back later and said, well, honestly, I have more to drink. Is that it anywhere in there?
No, sir.
Is this the kind of police work that you are used to getting away with doing?
No, sir.
Oh, so you don't get away with this all the time?
No.
Or you do get away with it all the time?
No.
Yes or no? Do you get away with writing false office reports?
Let's move on.
On the back, you write again that you asked the driver if he had any alcoholic beverages. That's like 2 places. And he stated that he had only 1.
Yes, sir.
And you wrote the number 1, O-N-E,
Yes, sir.
and then you put parentheses, the number 1. Period. Anything about that I misrepresented?
No, sir.
I'm not misrepresenting things to the jury, am I?
No, sir.
You approached the vehicle and he was holding his license and insurance out the window.
Yes, sir. Correct.
You were gonna ask him for that, right?
Yes, sir.
How in the world is that a sign of intoxication? You said he was bouncing it?
Yes, sir.
That's a sign of intoxication?
Usually drivers.
Is that a sign of intoxication,
No,
yes
sir.
or no?
No,
Then why are you here trying to tell the jury that it is?
I never said that.
Do you remember 10 minutes ago when they were asking you questions? And you said he was bouncing his license and you're trying to insinuate that that was weird or some.
That was an observation.
Right, about like his mental or physical faculties?
Yes, sir.
So, okay. You talked about NHTSA, right?
Yes, sir.
I know this isn't the manual you received, but National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, that's NHTSA, right?
Yes, sir.
That's an acronym that stands for the federal agency that is the authoritative body on how to administer field sobriety tests, right?
Correct.
And they give you an arsenal of 3 tools, 3 tests. There's an eye test, the horizontal gaze nystagmus, right?
Yes, sir.
You know the name of the other 2?
Yes. Walk and turn, one leg stand.
Okay, 3 tests that you can use to administer, and as you said, to determine if a person is intoxicated or not, right?
Yes, sir.
And that's what you were intending to do. You smelled alcohol, you asked him if he would do those sobriety tests,
Yes, sir.
and he said no. People have the right to refuse those tests, right?
Correct.
And he invoked that right.
Okay.
He thought about it, he made a conscious decision and said no, right?
Yes, sir.
Which he has the right to do.
Yes, sir.
Now, what you decide to do if somebody refuses, that's up to you, right?
Yes, the National
Correct.
Highway Traffic.
It's up to
and
you.
Safety Administration.
Objection, that's non-responsive, Your Honor. I asked a yes or no question.
Both of you guys are, it's, just don't get hostile. Ask the question, let him answer it. That's it.
Objection, non-responsive.
What's your question?
I said, if he refuses or submits, if he refuses, what you decide to do next is up to you.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So you intended to perform those tests, as you stated, to determine if he was intoxicated or not, right?
Correct.
But you were not able to perform those tests to determine if he was intoxicated or not, correct?
Correct.
Okay. You stated that, so in your training, you went through, you received a manual about the standardized field sobriety test, right?
Yes, sir.
And that talks about the history of alcohol in the country, administration of the field sobriety tests, but also a whole list, a litany of signs about how a person's driving that could also indicate intoxication, right?
Yes, sir.
I mean, there's 100 different clues they list that say if a person is driving like this, that could mean they're intoxicated.
Correct.
Did you know that speeding has never been one of those signs?
This is speed. and
Speeding. Did you know that speeding has never been listed as one of those signs?
braking. It says speed and braking.
Is everybody that's speeding intoxicated?
No, sir.
Only at night,
No,
when
sir.
you're out there looking for drunk drivers?
I'm not looking for anyone.
Well, that's not what you said earlier, is it? said you were out there looking for speeders and drunk drivers.
No, I was doing traffic enforcement.
Mr. Martinez, there's no evidence that he was swerving, correct?
No, sir.
You didn't testify to that, right?
No, sir.
You testified to everything you observed about his driving to the jury,
Yes, sir.
which would indicate that you thought he might be intoxicated, right? You
No,
didn't keep anything back, right? He wasn't running red lights, stop signs, swerving all over the road, right?
No, but he did a moving violation. Yes, sir.
Right, we all know he was speeding.
Correct.
That doesn't prove a person is intoxicated, right?
No, sir.
I don't know if you saw your radar in there, but all those people that were, well, when you pulled him over, there was nobody around them. There were a few other cars that passed. Your radar kept going like 77, well over the speed limit.
Yes, sir.
All those people intoxicated just because they're speeding?
No, sir.
Okay. We know that that was a traffic violation.
Yes, sir.
Was there anybody that called in, like to 911, there's a drunk driver out there?
No, sir.
With respect to Mr. Martinez?
No, sir.
So other than just driving fast, there was nothing else about him driving that indicated to you intoxication?
No, sir.
Okay. When you pulled over, some people who are intoxicated, they keep driving for a long time before they pull over, right?
Yes, sir.
It shows slow reaction time, right?
Yes, sir.
There's nothing about how he acted that showed a slow reaction time. He put his blinker on, he pulled over, right?
Yes, sir.
Nothing about the way he pulled over indicated intoxication, correct?
No, sir, but he did straddle the line.
Yeah, we heard you say that. Your opinion, because he pulled over to the left instead of the right.
Yes, sir.
That's not how you wanted him to pull over, right?
That's safety.
Did you get on your bullhorn and say, driver, pull over to the right shoulder?
No, sir.
You could have, right?
Yes, but due to the
Yes?
lanes, safety, yes, sir.
You could have told him where you wanted him to pull over.
Yes, sir. I agree.
But you followed him, you put his blinker on, pulled over to the left, and that's where you stopped him. And then Officer Ponce, or was he your corporal at the time?
Yes, sir.
He actually showed up after you and he helped block the scene,
Correct.
block that lane so it was safe.
Yes, sir.
He was out on the scene as well.
After the fact, yes, sir.
And he observed Mr. Martinez as well, correct?
Correct.
Now, I don't know how closely you watched the video, but you know that there's more things that you said that are not true when the state asked you questions. Do you know what those are?
Remind me.
Well, I mean, you wrote in, and you have your offense report, and Officer Ponce wrote a supplement, correct?
That's correct.
Okay. And Officer Ponce, is that how you pronounce his name, Ponce?
Ponce, yes.
He wrote what he observed of Mr. Martinez, right?
Correct.
You stated to the jury that you observed Mr. Martinez chewing gum.
That's correct.
Okay. Look through your offense report and point out the place anywhere in there where it says that you observed Mr. Martinez chewing gum.
No, I didn't have it to my report, no, sir.
It's because you didn't notice that. Officer Ponce did. Officer Ponce comes out and he even, so you told the jury, they said, what else did you observe? I observed Mr. Martinez chewing gum. And then that was a sign he was masking, hiding that he was intoxicated.
Yes, sir.
Really? Really?
Yes, sir.
Officer, you didn't even know he had gum in his mouth. Officer Ponce comes out. I mean, eventually you did, because Officer Ponce told you, right?
No, I didn't notice the chewing gum.
Where is it in your offense report? Show me, just show me. Where's it on the video that you observed gum in his mouth? Officer Ponce comes out. He asks you, did you watch this part? He asks you, did he have gum in his mouth? And you said, I don't think so.
That's hearsay at that point. He's asking about another person. He's not here. It's all
This goes towards credibility, Judge, what he testified to earlier.
He's asking about somebody else's statement out of court.
I mean, I can ask what happened. That's.
Here's a question.
You weren't, you didn't notice gum in his mouth the other officer asked you and notified you. He had gum in his mouth, right?
He did advise it, yes.
Right. And at first you weren't aware. And then Officer Ponce goes up to the car and tells Mr. Martinez, open your mouth, right? You saw that, right? And Officer Ponce looks in Mr. Martinez's mouth and he says, spit your gum out. You're not allowed to have gum in a patrol car, right?
Correct.
You didn't have any part of that. If Officer Ponce hadn't even observed it or asked him to open his mouth, you would have never known. But you're here today representing things to the jury that they're totally not true. I mean, the gum's an insignificant part, right? I mean, you're not trying to convict a person because he had gum in his mouth for DWI, right?
I'm not trying to convict anyone.
You're not. So you're here like testifying in a neutral capacity? Or are you biased against Mr. Martinez?
Unbiased, no one.
Unbiased.
Unbiased, no one.
So you're here in a neutral capacity?
I'm here just representing.
Okay, so if the jury, it's who decides whether or not it's guilty or not guilty? You or the jury?
I believe the jury.
Right, when you arrest a person, that doesn't mean that they're guilty of an offense, right?
That's correct.
You just have probable cause. I mean, it sounds like there may be a question about whether you even had probable cause, right?
Just a little repeat.
That's a legal conclusion at that point.
He was earlier making legal conclusions, was he not? Overruled?
I guess my point is that probable cause, you smell alcohol, you pull someone off the road, it's probably a safe thing to do, right?
Yes, sir.
If the jury says they don't think that it was proved in this case, they can say not guilty, right?
That's correct.
And nothing would happen to you professionally in your job if they said not guilty, right?
That's correct.
And since you're neutral and not biased against Mr. Martinez, whatever the jury decides, you would be completely fine with, correct? You say you're not here trying to convict them. If they said not guilty, you should be completely fine with that.
That's correct.
That's correct. So it's fine for whatever the jury decides, you'll be totally fine with.
That's your
No, I'm curious as to, was there slurred speech? Were there bloodshot eyes? I'd like to know about the indicia of intoxication.
That's about where I was going next, Judge.
So
I'll get there, sorry. Yep.
Get on it, doggone
it. So let's talk about that. The state kind of concluded by they asked you, which is typical, did you form an opinion about whether or not Mr. Martinez was intoxicated?
Yes, sir.
And you said, well, first of all, you said that he had slurred speech.
Yes, sir.
I mean, there's like less than 1 minute, maybe, or a minute of you talking to him. We don't hear any slurred speech on the video. I'm sorry.
I heard it.
On the video.
Yeah.
Seriously?
On the video when I was there.
You said he had quick answers? I mean, what's the opposite of that? Having slow answers?
Sir, quick answers to stay quiet, yes, sir.
Well, if he was responding slowly, you'd say he was intoxicated because he had a slow reaction time in responding to your questions.
I never said he was intoxicated. I said he had signs of intoxication.
You never said that you thought he was intoxicated. That's the point. Because when the state asked you, what did you think about him? You said, I thought he didn't have his mental faculties, right?
Yes, sir.
And they said, why did you think that? And you said, because he said, I'm coming from 59.
Yes, sir.
Perfectly clear. We could all hear it. No slur speech, no speeding it out with a quick answer, perfectly legible. I'm coming from 59. And that means that he didn't have his mental faculties?
The answer that he gave.
From 59?
Yes.
That's what you're saying is evidence that he didn't have his mental faculties?
Yes, sir.
I think you said because he didn't say I was coming from a restaurant or a bar, you wanted him to say he was, I mean, whatever. And that's something you based your decision to take him into custody on?
No, sir.
Well, when the state asked you, what did you base your decision on? And that was one thing you said, right?
Mhm.
Okay. Physical faculties, you stated that his balance was bad.
He stumbled when he stepped out of the car. Yes, sir.
Where? It's like we're watching two different videos. Where was his balance bad? Where did he stumble? Did we ever see that?
Yes, he did.
We did?
When he was coming out of the vehicle, he kind of like stumbled.
Dude, the guy gets out of the vehicle, he turns around like this and puts his hand on the car. Where in the world could he stumble in 1.5 foot space? He did not stumble.
That's what I observed.
I'm sorry?
That's what I observed.
You saw him stumble from the time he got out of the car to put his. You had a dash camera too that was in your car. So if he stumbled, there's a whole other camera that would show that, right?
Yes, sir.
Why didn't we see that? Why don't we see something that shows what you say is true?
That's not for me to present.
Whose job is it?
Unless,
I think you're putting them in a bad spot, don't you think? They're trying to prove what you say is true, but they can't. Don't you see that? They can't prove that he said he had several drinks or a few drinks. They can't prove that. You're making their job very hard. You get that? Is there something else you want to give them to help them prove that you're telling the jury the truth?
but it's all there.
It's all there.
Yes, sir.
None of us just see it. It's all there. He had glasses on when he was sitting in the driver's seat. You see that? But you're saying that you noticed he had glossy eyes?
Yes, sir.
In the few seconds you looked at him?
Yes, sir.
Did you know glossy eyes is not a sign of intoxication at all?
No, sir, it's not.
You agree with me? Are you agreeing? I don't know. Look, I don't know what you're agreeing to or what you're not. Are you agreeing with me that I'm right, or are you arguing with me that I'm wrong?
No, red bloodshot eyes is glossy eyes.
I didn't ask that. I said glossy eyes through his glasses. Did you know that according to your NHTSA training, all the clues, glossy eyes are not a sign of intoxication?
That's right.
So you're agreeing with me?
Yes, sir.
So why in the world would you write that and try to tell the jury that's another sign of intoxication you're telling them? It doesn't even prove intoxication. Why? Why are you doing
I
this?
never said that glossy eyes proves intoxication.
They asked you to list. We're taking notes over here, right? You see us over here, we're writing things down. They asked you what signs, more than one time. Slurred speech, which we didn't hear. Glossy eyes. You said that. Are you saying now you didn't say it?
No, I said it.
You know that's a vital sign of people being alive. You have liquid on your eyes. If you don't, there's a real problem. You ever thought about it that way?
Not medical.
Well, then why are you trying to tell these folks that there's things that you probably didn't even see and trying to tell them that meant he was intoxicated? Doesn't sound like you're being real fair or neutral to me.
I never said that he was intoxicated.
You never did.
No, sir. The only thing that I
But
said
you
was
put
that
him
he
in-
refused the SFSTs, which that proved to me that he was intoxicated, hiding evidence of intoxication.
Okay, you never said he was intoxicated, but he refused the SFSTs and that said he was intoxicated. I'm just repeating what you just said. Have you ever heard the saying, if you tell the truth, you don't have to remember what your answers were, or you don't have to remember what you said?
Right, that's true.
They kept asking you to tell us your opinion about what did you base your decision on, and you cited 59 for mental faculties, physical faculties. I mean, we didn't see any stumbling. Glossy eyes are not a sign of intoxication. I think you even said droopy eyes, didn't you?
Yes, sir.
I wrote that down.
Yes, sir.
For God's sake, show me where you wrote droopy eyes in any of your offense reports, probable cause affidavit, blood warrant. You called it in on your MDTs. Show me one place where you said when you wrote this offense report after this arrest that he had droopy eyes. Show me.
Listen in the report, no, sir.
First time ever today. You just thought you'd throw that in there?
No, sir.
Well, you did. You did. Yes, you did. You just decided you would throw that in there. Because you did throw it in there.
Okay.
Did you ever tell anybody that before today?
No, sir.
You know, there's a picture of his mugshot that they have in color. This is black and white. If he's got red eyes, droopy eyes, wouldn't you want to show the mugshot in color to prove to the jury what you're saying is true? That'd be pretty powerful evidence, right?
Yes.
You've probably been in it. Have you ever been in a trial before?
No, it's my first time.
Okay, well. There's no alcohol in the vehicle? That's a question.
No, sir.
So, I mean, I never, the state asked you a question, did you form the opinion of whether or not he was intoxicated? You stated I wasn't able to do, or you weren't able to do the field sobriety test to determine if he was intoxicated or not, correct?
I just said that he refused. Yes,
Right. I'm saying you were not able, you said if you do the field sobriety test to determine if a person's intoxicated.
Correct.
You were not able to determine if he was intoxicated.
Correct.
And you have stated twice or more, you never said you thought he was intoxicated.
Correct.
Okay. Okay. But you arrested him, put him in cuffs, and he was in custody. You even called it in on your radio, one in custody for DWI.
Yes, sir.
But you didn't think he was intoxicated. Correct?
Correct.
Judge, I've asked everything I can, I object to the, I don't know what else.
Okay. Are you gonna pass witness?
I'll pass, yes.
Officer, do you remember what the date was that Mr. Martinez was arrested?
August 31st.
What year?
2023.
And how long ago was that?
5 years ago.
What did you have for breakfast yesterday morning? If you had a video of you eating breakfast yesterday morning, would you be able to remember what?
Well, if I write it down.
Great. And when you wrote your police report, did you review your body camera before you wrote your police report?
No, sir, I did not.
And when you reviewed your body worn camera earlier before this trial, did you remember things that you didn't remember while you were writing your police report?
Yes, sir.
And do you agree that as time passes, our memories sort of fade?
Yes, sir.
And Officer Cazares, is your first language English?
No, sir.
What is your first language?
The Spanish.
In Spanish, is the ideas of a little bit, a few, many, are they closer related than, say, the English ideas of those?
No, they're different.
Okay.
They're different.
You translate, or when someone speaks to you in English, you translate it into Spanish and then translate it back into English?
Sometimes.
Okay. And are your memories kept in Spanish?
Sometimes.
Thank you. Right, on the toll road, I know the speed limit is 65, but how fast do people typically travel?
Typically on the toll road, they do between 68 to 75.
And you don't pull over everyone that you find speeding?
No, sir.
Okay. So you aren't, and this is the quote from the defense counsel, you're not a hammer looking for an amp?
That's correct.
And why did you pull over Mr. Martinez that night?
For the speeding violation,
How fast was it going?
about 100 miles an hour.
And 100 miles per hour is faster than the speed limit?
Yes, sir.
And it's faster than the other cars which were also speeding?
That's correct.
Judge, I'm gonna just object to the cumulative nature of all this. This is nothing new.
Please, unless you have something new.
Okay, thank you, Your Honor. We'll pass the witness.
That's witness.
All right. May this witness be excused?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you so much for coming and testifying. You're excused. Say nothing.
And are they subject to recall?
I'm releasing him.
I think it's a good time for break. Would you mind taking a very long?
All right, sure.
Let me get.
All right, please be seated. Tyler, you said we had a motion.
I have a motion to suppress the arrest. No probable cause. I mean, I think there's no credibility at all with this.
I'm gonna grant it. I'm gonna grant this motion.
And all the evidence that came after the arrest.
Bear with me 1 second. Let me go to the potty. I'll be right back.
I wasn't.
Hi guys. So I'm kind of confused. Was that the end of it? Let's see. If I go, how many minutes back was this? 31, 37. No. I might have to go back on the other one. But what's confusing is in the court chat, they say, right now they said, wrapping up the end of the trial. Yeah. They said they're wrapping up the end of the trial. So I think I'm actually just gonna, if you guys don't mind, I want to just go back a little bit because I wasn't listening properly. Also, I need to fix this lighting. Okay, stay here. Like, just give me 1 sec. I need to see if I move it, if it helps. No. A little bit. Oh, well. Right, let's go back and watch. I'm still busy writing, so I'm going to be in the corner, but I might be up and down because, you know, ADHD. Sitting still. Two don't go together. So if I get distracting, just let me know. Now I need to actually, before I do that. Yeah, I heard they were going on break. However, I'm a little bit confused about the part before the break. Right, let's see.
65, but how fast do people typically travel?
Typically on the total, they do between 68 to 75.
And you don't pull over everyone that you find speeding?
No, sir.
No. So you aren't, and this is the quote from the defense counsel, you're not a hammer looking for an nail?
That's correct.
And why did you pull over Mr. Martinez that night?
For the speeding violation.
How fast was he going?
About 100 miles an hour.
And 100 miles per hour is faster than the speed limit?
Yes, sir.
And it's faster than the other cars which were also speeding?
That's correct.
Judge, I'm gonna just object to the cumulative nature of all this. This is nothing new.
And please, unless you have something new.
Okay, thank you, Your Honor. We'll pass the witness.
Pass witness.
All right. May this witness be excused?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you so much for coming and testifying. You're excused. Say nothing.
And are they subject to recall?
I'm fine releasing him.
I think it's a good time for break. Would you mind taking the jury out?
All right, jury.
Let me get.
All right, please be seated. Tyler, you said we had a motion.
I have a motion to suppress the arrest. No probable cause. I mean, I think there's no credibility at all with this.
I'm gonna grant it. I'm gonna grant this motion.
And all the evidence that came after the arrest.
Bear with me 1 second. Let me go to the potty. I'll be right back.
I wasn't.
He's done absolutely everything that he could have done under your orders, Judge. He's done everything you told him to do. You told him to roll an IOP SOP. It took a week to get in. And then since then, he's done every single week. He took the class you told him to do. He completed it. He's been coming to court. He's been clean. There's literally nothing else he could have done in the essence. Yes, sir.
You're doing IOP right now, correct?
SOP.
SOP. This is SOP every week.
SOP is
Is it truly once a week? And then how long is it for?
it's for about 3 months.
So how is it that we only have 3 classes done in all that time?
Yeah.
Is there some way that we can, Victoria, reach out to them and figure out what's going on and why it's only 3 classes in that time? So let's do this. I'm gonna roll this thing to Thursday, and I'm gonna figure out what's going on because something's not right.
And he could tell you, Judge, he enrolled on the 5th of.
I know he's gonna say something.
Yes, Judge.
But I wanna talk to the provider.
Yes, sir.
Right. There's absolutely strict compliance because I told you, no, I don't want any more issues, especially because the case is as old as it is and how many issues we've had so far. Come back on Thursday. Let me reach out to them and figure out what's going on. Okay? We'll see you then.
Thank you. Are you excused?
Thank you.
Hello, Your I've got Joshua Wilson on your docket. I'd just like to carry him to tomorrow and we'll plead him out.
He's on Dr. today?
Yes, sir.
Okay. You know what you wanna do?
No, sir, because of probation and the other stuff, I just. Thank you.
Yes. Do you want him to stand in the middle or does it matter? You want him in the middle?
Good morning.
Oh, we just.
Yes, Your Honor, it is the plea on the
Hey, guys, please. Michael Wall intoxicated, you're facing up to 6 months in jail and a $2,000 fine. You've worked out an agreement, they're offering you 3 days in jail for the 1 day that you've done. This is gonna go on your record.
Yes, sir.
You now have all these things keeps adding up. You need to be aware, anytime you get pulled over, you think an officer's gonna be nice to you.
No, sir. Possibly.
No, not possibly. In what alternate reality do you live in with your criminal history? What I see just here in Harris County, robbery dismissed, robbery disclosed, possession of a controlled substance, now a DWI. They're going to arrest the hell out of you. It doesn't matter if you're drunk or not. Even the faintest smell of alcohol, like you saw in this trial just now, they're gonna pull you over. They're gonna arrest the heck out of you, whether you're drunk or not. Don't give them the pleasure. I would never get in a car, even if you have half of a sip of beer, toke off one joint, because I'm telling you, you're gonna be right back over here. What we're doing today, this proverbial slap on the wrist will not happen again. From now on, you'll be facing a minimum of 30 days in jail. You understand?
Yes, sir.
Don't give them the reason. $10, $15. I'll take you anywhere you want to go. Don't matter where you want to go. How much money have you spent on all the crap in your life? You know what I mean? You're giving up the right to a trial, right to compel witnesses to testify on your behalf, confront and cross-examine your accusers. If you're not a citizen, there are possible immigration consequences. You can be deported, excluded from the country, denied naturalization. You give up the right to appeal. So once you accept this agreement, you can never change this or undo this. So it will go on your record. It will be there forever. Do you understand?
Yes, I do understand.
This is what you want to do?
Yes, sir.
How do you plead to the offense, sir?
I plead guilty.
I will find you guilty, sentence you to 3 days in jail. I'll give you credit for the one. Like I said, from now on, it's a minimum of 30 days in jail. And if you're not smart enough to consider like how to get home, I will put you over minimum, spank you like a little child, but I'm gonna do it. A ton of jail. All we want our streets to be safe. You understand?
Yes.
You take it 1 day at a time. And if you have a drug or alcohol problem, mind over matter. It's not that hard. Find a way to release the negative energy. I have 4 kids and I'm stressed the hell out. You know what I do? I run. I'm a running fool. I run every single day because I'm so damn stressed out. I'm out with all these people that I deal with nonstop, these freaking lawyers, defense lawyers, defendants. It stresses the hell out of me. And I could beat my kids senseless, but I run. And that's how I take it. You understand?
Yes, sir.
Your Honor, I do have a motion on the fine. He is unemployed at this time. So
Okay, don't drive. You understand? Not for any reason. I don't care. If you drive, you will be right back over here with a new case because you're facing just like the DWI. If you drive, don't drive. Do you understand?
Yes, I do.
Okay. I will roll your car costs, say one. All right. Thanks. And thank you for coming. Okay. Sure.
Hi, Judge, we're here. I've got 1 fugitive and then 2 more with them. No, not right now. Roderick Davis, fugitive case. Sorry? Judge, he's been in custody for over 100 days. He waived April 9th. I've contacted parole every 3 weeks, telling them that they need to release their hold or have a hearing, and they're just not doing either. So my question is, are we perpetually going to reset this, and how long can your court have this guy in jail for no reason?
Gotta be a reason.
Well,
So the initial two resets was to get a hearing, and at the second one
to get a
parole hearing. And then what we discovered was the hearing wasn't for any other revocation, but the hearing was for the fugitive case generated. by this court. So came one of those chicken and egg things, is they wouldn't release the hold because of our fugitive
Until
case,
fugitive gets
and
dismissed.
fugitive couldn't go because of the parole hold. So I contacted the person at THC and well, he's
Kentucky.
wanted from, Kentucky for wanton endangerment first degree and felon possession of a weapon.
Do they not want him?
No, they still want him, but they can't take him until our Texas parole hold lifts.
And parole's not lifting your hold.
So they're gonna reach out, they being Austin Central Office, they're gonna send over to their counterpart here in Houston, and that was the last email that we shared.
So, but I did, to be fair, Jay, I have been emailing parole with this issue, like, hey, guys, you need to understand, fugitive is not going to move him until you revoke him, reinstate, or whatever. And they're just like, yep, sure. And over 100 days later, he's still here.
It wasn't until we poked with the stick and we.
So why do we do this? Why don't we tell them that if they don't get their butts in gear, I'm gonna give them a PR? I mean, can I?
Well,
is it something that carries life?
No, but the issue is, it doesn't really punish TDCJ, it really punishes Kentucky, who has no control over this, because it's.
Actually, I think it punishes my client who's been in jail for over 100 days for no reason.
I know, but regarding the whole, so we reach out again, and then Amy called again to figure out a timeline, because they did send it over.
But I mean, I care more about.
Right.
And it's not something that's like gone under the radar. If this was like the first time, I get it, but Day, honestly, parole has known about this. They just don't care. They're just like, yeah, sure, let's reset it after fugitive again and again and again and again. And then they don't respond to me. And then I say, hey guys, I just want them to I want my guy out of jail. What are y'all gonna keep? I just want to know how long I'm gonna keep him.
Well, in outside that, and even if he does get a PR, because the parole hold is still with the sheriff's office, he still can't be released. So whenever they do, if he is given a PR bond, then it'll automatically, trigger the extradition.
So let's do that. I'm just gonna give them.
Let's do that. Great. Great, let's do that. Because he's.
Right, but, okay, so even if that.
I mean, if they wouldn't be obtuse, let them be obtuse. We'll play the same game.
Right, so, okay.
So Kentucky's got 14 days to get him?
No, because it's still told until the parole hold is lifted.
Parole's not gonna lift it. Parole doesn't care.
So, but that's what I mean, until we fix the problem, regardless of any other agency or scenario or court, is that until parole hold lifts their hold, is that the sheriff's office won't release him for anything. And so even if he's given a PR bond on like 6 cases, it's still, until the parole hold is lifted, he's just not getting out of jail. And so that's what we're trying to figure it out on the back end, and that's why we contacted, I can't remember her name.
Yes,
right?
we've been doing that for a few months now.
Well, no, not for this specific person, Treese. So Treese is the person we called directly because, like you said, they weren't specifically responding to that issue. And we didn't know, well, I didn't know, that's what the hearing was, and I called.
I don't know, Judge. I just know my guy, his family, his sister, his mother, his girlfriend call me. I have multiple jail visits. The county's gonna pay me a pretty penny on this one, and I just don't know why we're doing
As
this.
much money as you want.
Well, I don't know why we're doing this. He's sitting for no reason.
I'll give you some skills.
So I don't know, what do y'all wanna do?
I mean, and I don't know if it helps or hurts. When I called, they were equally as curt is the best
They just
word
don't
with-
care,
Yeah.
and they'll just keep
Even when I
resetting.
called, they were pretty dismissive. And so at this point, they have at least triggered the next step is to have an agent here. For a parole hold. I don't even know to what, because the hold itself is not an individual charge. It's not important.
Force them to do something that they're supposed to do.
So that's, thank you for that. So at least the next step in assigning someone to the office.
Here's my
here.
question. Why don't y'all let it go since Texas doesn't seem to care? I don't know why Harris County cares.
Well, I care because Kentucky still wants him.
You're not Kentucky.
No, but I will today.
Let's do that. Let's set this for Friday.
Sure.
You reach out to Kentucky, let them know what's going on, and then see what they have.
Because it's not that I don't understand the frustration, but also like let's say I moved to dismiss it today and the court dismisses this and it all goes away until the parole hold is fixed, he's still gonna be in there. So
But then parole will actually do their job.
No, because
Correct?
they're still, no, because nothing is, you're talking about.
Yeah, parole will do their job, right?
So-
So let's dismiss it. Let's let people do their jobs.
So Obviously, that was
Let's do
hypothetical.
that.
I'm not going to do that. So I'm gonna reach out.
That would be too efficient.
Do your diligence so you don't.
I'll reach out and figure out who the specific contact is for Houston, because they assigned it to, I think it's like, we're section 4 or something. And so I'm gonna figure out who the specific person is instead of the general.
Is Friday too early?
Yes.
It's Friday.
I'll call this afternoon. I'll call this afternoon and then try to get someone from the office if I can't get Trace on the phone to make sure. Yeah, and so, and it's fine with me unless, Victoria throws a mallet at me. Yeah. I'll call this afternoon and figure out who up the chain I need to go in Austin before it even gets to here. I would say, like, going forward, because I asked, obviously I've been in Genlet for a little bit now, and this is the first time it's popped up, is at least have a contact person. If this specific scenario happens again, I at least have a point person that I can make sure it doesn't happen again. So, unfortunately,
Thank you, Day. We will talk Friday.
Yeah. So
Okay, next.
I'll make sure to get a person this afternoon.
Sorry. Next one, CSA, jail, new case, bond. SISA,
Is this a fugitive or just regular?
regular new, failure to ID. He's got 2 felonies, 2 $50,000 bonds out of the 487, but I don't see a bond set here.
I see $100 bond set. Failure to ID is a fugitive.
Oh, okay.
But he didn't get it. He didn't.
I'm okay. I'm gonna go for PR. I'll do a bail waiver on that one.
100.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure. Sorry, it didn't show up on my end.
Then, yeah, it looks like, so he picked up 2 delivery cases set for 815.
Yes, I'll reset it after that. And then the last thing is Subarov, SUV. It's on your docket. I have a breath test discovery order that I filed about a month ago. You can get it signed. Let's make sure it's in your queue. Okay, thanks.
Thanks, Ray. Okay.
We're waiting on Amy to come back on a fugitive matter, so I'll the next person.
Eric?
Lost my train of thought.
Mendoza, 518.
Yeah, Mendoza, first name Nicholas.
Yes.
I was told he was here, but.
He's here. Coming up, Mr. Mendoza. Okay. Okay, so Mr. Mendoza, I've written no drugs, no alcohol, no weapons, no driving. He made 2 very high bonds and will not put up behavior. I won't. The next time I'm gonna make your bond so high, guess what's gonna happen? At some point, someone, whoever's doing it, is gonna stop paying that bond and you'll be stuck like Chuck in jail. Guess what they do to 17-year-olds in jail? So, he knows.
Yes.
He can't leave until Tracy comes and he needs to sign for his bond conditions, and then we'll just give you a normal recess.
Yes.
Okay. Take a seat. Don't leave Mr. Mendoza. Okay. Ready?
Very much, John. It's on Martell. It's a fugitive. Today was, I'll let Jay explain it.
So this one I'm gonna need a little bit. So this one, we originally asked for the extension, and on the email to the demanding jurisdiction, I made a typo. Instead of the 17th, I put the 19th. And because of that, they relied on it and they said they're coming to pick them up tomorrow. So, although the original one was for the 17th, with the waiver being on the 1st and then kicking out to the 16th, the 3-day extension, that's still, the 19th would still be within the 3 days the court typically gives, but because I asked the 17th, we're reapproaching for tomorrow. So that one's on me. So because we originally requested for it to be extended out to the normal 14th, but I guess, well, not, I guess, on the original, he's wanted for Martell. For scheme to defraud. And she had an open assault deadly weapon that she was on deferred for, here, not there.
I mean,
I'm obligated to object.
That's it.
So if it's tomorrow, then it's gonna be Friday, but at least that's why I had Amy go out and call, so that at least we have.
So put her on my docket for Friday? Okay.
And then, yeah, on the other one.
Anyone else for a question?
No, that's it, Judge, thanks.
Thank you, Judge.
Say that.
I have Benjamin Perry. So Pablo just gave me do an anger management PTI dismissal. We'll get that done this week. He is in the hallway. He's in the hallway with Roy. I can have him come in and do sign the reset. Sure. For a PTI anger management. No, it's a 3-month PTI, 2-hour anger
I'm not setting
management.
this thing up 3 months for a PTI.
No. I mean, it's reset, but I'm gonna give them to get the class. I mean, they're giving
I
us.
think it's a week to get it done.
Okay.
You know?
I'll get it done.
He has just one class to do that.
Yes, yes, sir. I will.
What's his name? Oh, yeah. Let's go there.
Let me just admonish him, Josh. Let me just admonish him. Come up, Mr. Perry. You have 1 week to get this class done. If you don't get the class done in 1 week, then I'm going to set your case for trial. You understand?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yeah, say it loud.
Yes.
It's your chest.
Set off 1 week.
Thank you. Go ahead. I understand. Robert Martinez is also on the docket, Your Honor. And we gave him BIP the last time. We wanted him to come in to show at least he had 3 cases. He has three BIP classes done, completed. Yes, he's here.
Is that approved?
Yes, I just emailed him to Pablo.
I have.
How many classes has he done?
3.
3.
He's got the 3 actual classes done. You've seen, you're good.
I've seen it. He's
Okay.
emailed it to me.
Hey, I'm an officer of the court. I'm
Set off another 3.
yeah.
You are.
All right.
Come on. Mr. Lo Cicero, come on up. Sir, you're charged with driving while intoxicated. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. You've worked out an agreement where they're offering you 39 days in jail with credit for the 13 days that you've done. Is this what you want to do, sir?
Yes, sir.
This charge is going to go on your record. It'll be there for the rest of your life. If you ever get pulled over, they're going to see this. If they smell alcohol or dope, you will go immediately to jail. No questions asked. They're not going to care. From now on, you face a minimum of 30 days in jail. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
You give up the right to a trial, right to compel witnesses to testify on your behalf, confront and cross-examine your accusers. If you're not a citizen or possible immigration consequence, you can be deported, excluded from the country, denied naturalization, and a federal law, you give up the right to appeal. So once you accept this, you can never change this or undo this. This is what you want to do.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
How do you plead to the offense, sir?
Guilty, sir.
I will find you guilty. Send you to 39 days. I'll give you credit for 13. I'm going to suspend your license for 90 days. Do not drive until you get a license. Good luck to you, sir.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right.
Morning, Judge, may I approach? Good morning, Judge. Yeah, it's been a while. How you been? Wanted to see if I could approach on an off docket case. It is 251-665. And the name on it is Jonte Jenkins. So what I'm wanting to see is,
Wait a second. I don't have anyone representing. Are you signing on to the case?
Yes, Judge.
Are you filing a community record yet?
I have not done that yet.
Okay, so we have them on the towers. We should have them on the towers that way we can attach to the case. That please do that before you leave. Okay. What do you want?
So what I was trying to do is I wanted to see if we could get the location restriction removed. So in this case, the complainant's already stated that she doesn't testify. She wants him to come home. He doesn't have any kind of violent criminal history. Also share kids. So I wanted to see if we could get that location restriction removed on the mower.
Before we do that, I'd like the state to reach out to them, see how it's been. Has he tried to contact them? What her opinion is?
Daniel spoke with her and she is okay. 7:17 or today, 11:39. Yes, Your Honor. And okay with the address restriction being removed and also okay with the GPS being removed.
Is he here?
Oh, he's not here, Judge.
When he gets here, I want to admonish him, and then I'll do it for you. So bring him in. I'd like to tell him about, go through the spiel, and then I can amend it for you.
Thank you, Judge. Thank you.
I am here on two cases. The first one is Denoso Gonzalez.
Is he in custody or on bond?
No, it's out on bond. Her appearance is waived. It's a prostitution case.
Oh, with a D?
Denoso, D-O.
I see, okay.
So we're waiting for the Miami people to reach out to her for a forensic interview. I've been in contact with her. She hasn't heard from them yet, but I believe it's the people from Miami that are directly coordinating with her. And so they just haven't done it yet. So I don't know. I don't know. I think we've been waiting for like 2-3 weeks.
I just emailed for interviews with the follow-up. I just not that it's, I don't have a follow-up yet on a realistic timeline.
Yeah, I mean, this case is near, it's 1,031 days old. I mean, it's just.
The last setting, we basically sent them the contract and they said that they'll coordinate with her.
We got the contract back, what, 7/3, and now still nothing. Okay, so let's set it off a week. I'm not gonna do long research just because it's really early.
Okay, she is in Florida, which is why she's coordinating with Miami.
Sure.
Do you want her here?
No, I mean, there's no sense.
Okay.
Just to have her come for this.
Okay, all right, I'll set her off for a week. And then Jose Rodriguez is my next case.
Did someone bot?
On this one, we're waiting to see if they have additional body cams. So if we could just have a reset to see if those body cams exist.
Discovery not complete.
We're still missing body cam from 2 officers.
This age. 2 body cams from additional officers.
Yes, sir.
Why don't we subpoena them here?
What's the name?
Jose Rodriguez. They're still missing 2 body cams. 150 days old. So I'm gonna subpoena them here. I think that that'll probably work to try to get them to release the body cam. Let's set it off 2 weeks. Okay, if you can subpoena the officers, tell them that they have to come to court unless they get the body cams to you before that's done. If they don't get the body cam, I'm gonna expect them here, otherwise I'll hold them. What's the date? Just 2 weeks from today. 2 weeks? Yeah, so let's say the 31st. Okay. Let them know if they get it to you before that time, it's waived, they don't have to come, but if they don't have it to you guys by that time.
That's it for me. I don't make excuse. Thank you.
Yeah, you can be over there.
Can I re-approach really quickly about Mr. Brickmeyer? Is it okay if I come? Okay.
Suspension started today, and he has to drive back to the suburban house. Is there any way, I know that the code says that it can take place, the suspension can happen any day, up to 30 days after the conviction. Can we put a start date on it, like Monday or something like that, so that he doesn't feel like he's
Is
breaking?
he's driving back to the circle facility today?
Yes, because he also is starting as an apprenticeship. He's got to do like an aptitude test and things like
I
that.
mean, we can let him drive everywhere.
No, I
Only
understand.
allow him to drive back to the circle facility, so I guess we can start the suspension tomorrow.
Okay, I think
Maybe
that
that's it.
that'll give him time to get there,
Yeah.
and then he can get.
Did you hear Pavel?
I did not.
I want you to.
No, you're good.
I didn't even realize.
I didn't even know.
On the plea, so Mr. Carter, he's been lying for so long. He's been in the circle, so he also had cases in court and in the treatment facility.
I remember this guy. Yeah.
So she's asking me to suspend the license tomorrow so that he can drive to the circle facility.
Okay.
I said, okay. I mean, I don't care. But that's the only thing I'll do.
That'll be fine.
It's gonna get suspended tomorrow.
Okay. That way I can just tell him, you're fine to drive back
You
today.
can put the start with the suspension tomorrow. We'll do that in just the 90 days.
Okay.
90 days, okay. Thank you, Judge.
Yes. Yeah, of course. Can we talk in the back just for 1 quick second?
Okay, so Teresa, don't go. Give me 2 seconds. This is, I mean, you can if you need to. That's about the case, the trial. Present, share screen. I'm going to use this opportunity to show Teresa's paintings. Okay, there's that one. That one. I'm sorry if I show the same one twice. I'm just going to close as I show them. This is my favorite. Wait, I'm not showing it yet. This is my favorite. This is very similar to my style. Just a lot more skilled in the flowers in the front regions. There we go. So I suggested that, hey, Donald, I suggested that Teresa start an Etsy. I do have to say, though, that Etsy charges, I think, $20 a month. But you can do digital downloads. And then basically, we buy it and print it. And doesn't matter where you are in the world. Okay, I'm going to go back a bit. I mean, I'm going to switch computers. You may just have to bear with me while I find my place.
Will not put up with this behavior. I won't. The next time, I'm gonna make your bond so high. Guess what's gonna happen?
I won't even be able.
No?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Where were we?
I wanna do it now.
Okay, hold on. Let's see if I can find the point where the guy in this suit is like up very close to the camera. Okay, so we know the red lady. Did we see Trinidad? I don't remember hearing Trinidad. There.
You here for that?
I did not.
I want you.
No, you're good.
I didn't even realize. So
I didn't even know.
from the plea, so Mr. Franklin, he's been in my for so long because he's been in the sober living facility. He also had cases in Fort Bend and been in the treatment facility.
I remember this guy.
Yeah. So she's asking me to suspend the license tomorrow so that he can drive back to the sober facility.
Okay.
I said, okay. I mean, that's the only thing I'll do.
That'll be fine.
It's gonna get suspended tomorrow.
Okay. That way I can just tell him you're fine to drive back
You
today.
can put the start with the suspension tomorrow. Right? We'll do that in just the 90 days.
Okay.
90 days, okay, thank you, Judge.
Yes.
You okay with that?
Yeah, of course. Can we talk in the back just for 1 quick second?
Okay. Right. Might as well stay here.
So that can be done in that. Okay, hey, can we start that now? I'm gonna have them come out now to get it done quick.
Yeah,
Tyler,
let's do it on the record.
There you are. Okay.
I was gonna let Miss Luna,
Okay, for sure. Guys, I'm gonna bring a jury out, but it's only gonna be for 2 minutes, so it'll be real quick. All right, but guys, we're about to go back on the record. Come up, please. Tracy, it's only gonna be 2 minutes.
do you want to articulate the official words or just make a motion?
Make the motion for directed versus.
I want to tell her the right words to say if, but I'm not sure I. Okay. Based on. That's what's for that. Okay. All right, for the group.
All right, please be seated, ladies and gentlemen of the jury. Everyone, please be seated. All right, State, do you have anything else?
Your Honor, the state of Texas rises.
Okay, thank you so much. Defense?
We rest, Your Honor,
Okay,
and then we do have a motion.
okay,
At this time, based on the evidence presented in the court's ruling, we would ask for a directed verdict of not guilty.
okay, I'll grant that for you. Thank you so much. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, the jury, that's everything basically. For now, we'll just have you come back up and go back to your room. And I'll be back here shortly. Okay, thank you.
That's it.
All right, Ms. Jury.
Please be seated. Jillian.
Morning, Judge. I have Mr. Odom, who's in custody. He picked up a new VPO.
Lamar?
Will, did you provide proof of purchase?
Judge, I needed this is not a gun, this is a phone, but.
Okay, I have the phone?
I needed to follow up with the investigator to see if there's anything else. At this time, I can't answer because I was in trial. I just need to make a phone call. So, can we just follow up tomorrow?
Are you okay with it?
Sorry, well, it's tomorrow.
Yeah.
I have a different.
I want to make sure that they're agreed to it, you know?
That was the first thing I asked. And you wanted to wait, but I'd already put it in your queue, so I was just gonna come back to it.
Thanks, Will. Yeah, we can do it first thing.
May we be excused on the
Yeah.
trial case?
For sure.
Okay, thank you. And will we be able to get a copy of the, okay.
So I've never, ever, 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 ever seen a directed verdict granted, ever. And that was so easy. Although I don't want to say so easy, the lawyer did a very good job. I am impressed by how, like, he kept pushing and he kept pushing, and that cop would have, like, if the lawyer hadn't tightened the screws constantly, I think the cop would have gotten away with telling pork pies. There's like one piece of this bun that is too tight, and it is breaking my brain. Just one tiny piece. Maybe that'll work. So basically now we can carry on watching, or we can go back to jury selection. I don't mind either way. I still have work to do. I was just looking at this Tyler Daisy. The only thing that concerns me is the channel sharing it is one of those that loves to copyright strike. Doesn't matter what you're doing. So they say, Iowa man Tyler Daisy was charged with first-degree murder after his mother was found murdered and beaten in her home. When the police discovered his dead mother, she had brutal injuries. Cut the rest off there. He allegedly told police that the victim practiced witchcraft against him. He is also accused of murdering the family dog. Daisy could face up to life behind bars if convicted. The 28-year-old was deemed competent for trial after a series of evaluations. So what we could do is I could portal to a new stream, and then at least if the stream gets struck by the angry people at a certain something and something, then it won't be this whole video. Does that sound like something you'd be interested in watching? It is happening Today is day one, but we would essentially be a little bit behind. Let's leave Fleischer on. I'm going to do a poll.
Also need to approach you briefly on a case just got appointed to Sorto, SORTO. It looks like he was reset to hire an attorney, but y'all got proof that he checked into a facility.
Oh, that's right, okay, right, now you, could remember.
So I was trying to find from here, pardon?
He's looking at me. I forwarded him the email that I got.
We got an email from, was it a family member, Victoria?
No, the actual recovery.
I'm looking at it right now. I'm just trying to figure out if there's a discharge date.
That's why
They
I
said
wanted to.
35 days.
That's okay. So we get this email from from this recovery center saying that he's checked into a rehab, and I didn't want to just issue a warrant. I wanted to make sure that first we appointed someone to make sure that he's actually in there. If you can just verify that, verify the release date, and then let him know he's got to come here right after he's released, and that if he fails to, at that point, we will issue the warrant.
Okay.
In an effort to kind of help him out prior to just issuing a warrant.
Okay. Do you mind if we roll this to like Friday, just so I can?
Yeah, I was gonna, give you a week.
Oh, okay. Friday's good. I like to do things quick. So let me get in touch with her.
She don't like Fridays.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, never mind.
So,
You're right. You're so right.
If you want Monday, I'm okay with that.
Let's just do a week until the 24th.
Okay. Yeah, just let Victoria know.
I'll let her know. Thanks.
Is Recovery Addict doing this?
I'm on Mendoza, reckless driving and unlawful carry.
I thought the next one of his was ballet. If anyone knows. I don't want to do the same thing. And I haven't seen Recovery Addict post. Oh, there's a YouTuber that I watch that is like, I'm not doing this anymore. And then they come back and then they're like, I'm not doing this anymore. I just saw that they came back. Recovery Addict hasn't popped up for another stream today. He was talking about a witchcraft trial. That would probably be this one. I don't know. I don't know what to do.
Okay, so no driving, no weapons, no drugs, no alcohol, random testing.
GPS and
I may have it, what you said. No driving, alcohol, drugs, and to stay in school.
Oh, so, okay.
put them on both. Put them on both.
Correct, yeah. Mr. Reyes.
Your Honor, I have Marvin Karantza on the docket today. He picked up a new offense for harassment, and I was looking for a bond on him.
The bond, first when I revoked it, put it at 5,001.
Okay.
On the new case, whatever you want. I'm
2,000. All right.
2001, so I know that there's a problem, but I'm okay with that.
Okay, sounds great. So the old case has, or the original case, you upped it to $5,000, 5,001.
It's a criminal mischief. We said no threatening, harassing.
Right.
Complaining witness, and then he's up now.
Sounds good.
Harassment of the complaining witness. So
that's fair, Judge.
And then we'll set the other one at 2001.
Okay, Judge. Thank you.
Poll is up.
Do you want to stay on it, Mr. Reyes, or did you want to?
Yes, I'm going to stay on it.
If you ever have any issues, just let us know and we can.
Absolutely. Heck yes. Heck yes. Thank you.
Hey, I'm gonna go talk to the jury. Hey, Vic, I'm gonna find my control.
Oh dear.
You wanted an 18-week course?
And then Jillian, and then Trinidad. Yeah.
Apparently Victoria doesn't like this proof that he gave to the state. So let's approach again. State, this contract's between the state and my client. He provided the proof to the state. It's the one I said, I'm an officer of the court. I'm telling you, he got 3 done. He's providing that information to the state. The state's cool with it. Victoria isn't cool with it. Can you tell it's cool?
That doesn't look like the proof we normally get. That's a summary from the defendant of the classes.
Oh.
I said, you may need to look at it.
Oh,
That's the information that he sent to the state of Texas, is the officer that he's assigned, and she approved. The state has already approved, looked at it, and they're good with it.
where's he taking the course?
It's on there, yeah. You want him to come up here and explain it to you? He's here.
Yeah.
All right.
This doesn't tell me where he's taking the bid. Where are you taking these classes?
Online. They sent me a link to do online. I bought the class. That was $90. I'm doing it online.
They want online or in person? Bid
Nobody
classes?
told me nothing about that. They just sent me the class.
Typically, when they want the,
It's an 18-week class. It's called Online Court Classes, BIPP Protection Program. I have it on my phone if you want to see.
Yeah. You took the long one because that's what you wanted the last time. So it was your request. We had another one, and then when we came up here, Your Honor, I'm telling you, you wanted an 18-week course, and you wanted him to be present here.
I never dictate which classes the
Okay,
state.
my bad,
You know?
my bad. But he's doing the classes, he's 3 weeks in, 4 weeks in now. So, and he's gonna get a dismissal. We got into the class, he paid his money. What kind of proof do you want?
No,
What kind of proof is Victoria want?
typically, when we do these 18-week classes,
Sir.
You got me up
that
here.
are done in person unless they do, I think, the short anger management.
No, this is an
classes.
18-week
This is
course.
the one
Yes, sir.
you come
I
at.
didn't know that. I mean, traditionally, it's always done like an in-person
I didn't know
bid
that.
class.
My
So,
first time going through this.
I'm
not aware.
I mean, as long as they're okay with it, I'm okay with it.
He was okay with it earlier.
Okay. so Pavel said he's okay with the online bid, the 18-week? Okay, if he's not okay with it, so let's set it off.
Because he has to make this work to come here to show an email that he's going to the class.
Yeah, I could have just emailed it, which I thought it was okay. And those questions, they're not like multiple choice answers, they're more like opinion-based answers.
Yeah, just take your time.
Yes, sir.
Just go on.
The reason that you're here
Yes, sir.
is because in February, you were giving a 2-hour, 24-hour community service and online bid for dismissal. We gave you a 5-week reset for you to do that. We come back 4/4, you're still working on it. Then we come back a month later and nothing is done.
I wasn't aware the first time.
This is why we are now requiring your presence, because it's been now since February. We've given you month after month after month, and nothing's been done.
The first time I
I'm
wasn't
telling
aware.
you why I'm requiring your presence, because you're saying, well, I don't know why I have to come back to the bid.
No.
I'm telling you why.
Yes, sir.
So now, to make sure that things get done, I'm micromanaging, because it didn't work the last time when we set you off 2 different times at 5 weeks. That's why we're micromanaging. So we will set you off another 3 weeks. In another 3 weeks, we want to make sure that you have at least 3 classes done. If it's online, then perhaps you may be able to get it done even quicker, because the ones where you go in person, traditionally, it's only 1 per week. With the online ones, you may be able to get it done quicker. I don't know. That's something that you can explore. If you can get this done quicker, then I would. But at the minimum, you must have at least 3 classes done by the next 2 weeks, okay?
Sounds good.
All right, bud. Here you go.
Appreciate it.
Thanks. Hey, Ray. How are you? What's up, man?
Not a whole lot. I have Mr. Jerome Bob on the docket, Judge.
Oh, you got a point from Ms. Bob?
I did, yeah.
Are we doing something today?
No. I just got on the case.
I understand, but he told me that he just wanted to get it done. He wanted to be done with it. Where's Mr. Bob? Come up, Mr. Bob. The case is 400 days old. We've
Correct.
literally been at the clear trial stage for the last couple times just because
Yeah.
defense lawyer don't show up.
And I'm not there, obviously,
Right.
but just a quick glance at the case. It appears that precinct 3 recently filed an affidavit with the state saying that they cannot find the search warrant, so that would be a problem, number 1. Problem number 2, the only body cameras that are available in the portal are for Officer Johnson, who is the second officer to show up. The first officer is Freeman, and we don't have those body cameras either.
Okay, so let's do this. This case is 400 days old. I'm not just gonna reset it for S and giggles, so I'm gonna subpoena the officers here now. So what I'm gonna do is, let's wait till Pavel gets back.
Okay.
So he can make notes that I'm gonna give them 1 week to get everything in. If not, then I'm gonna give them a 10-day call. Because it's 400 days and it should have been in a long time ago. So.
No, I agree.
Bear with me a little bit.
Okay.
When Pavel gets back, I'll give him the news and then, I'll give you at least 10 days to try to get everything done, you know? I'm gonna get them to get it now, like yesterday, and then I'll give you, some time to get the work done.
Okay.
But because of the age, because of the runaround and stuff like that, it's gonna be quick.
I wish I
But I'm
could
gonna give
say,
you enough time.
yeah, I wish I could say that was on me, but it's not, so.
Well, no.
Yeah.
I know you're gonna do it, you know what I mean?
Right.
So just bear with me a second. I'm gonna wait till the chief gets in here so we can figure out what's gonna happen. Okay? For sure. All right, but Bob, we're gonna take care of you one way or the other, okay?
Thank you.
All right, man, for sure.
Okay, everybody, arms in, legs in, feet in. We're gonna portal, and I'm gonna update you on the other side. Everybody hang tight. Here we go.